My password is set to price a bowl of fried rice at 10,000 yuan. Everyone thought I must be crazy for money, but little did they know I was actually doing a losing business, just to complete the task my master assigned. Now, I've been setting up my stall for a week straight and haven't sold a single portion of fried rice. Just as I was lamenting another day of wasted effort, a commotion reached my ears. A fan said, "This, Ali has a snack stall that dares to sell fried rice for 10,000 yuan a portion. Today, let's go see what kind of fried rice dares to sell for 10,000 yuan." Hearing that, I looked up and saw a fat man standing in front of the stall. He looked up. His eyes What a big tone old Tang chuckled at my confident demeanor. "Don't worry, whether it's good or not. You've publicly displayed the price, so I'll pay according to the menu price. If it's a letdown, I'll consider myself unlucky." I said no more, nodded, and began preparations. The white rice in the bamboo steamer before me was crystal clear, mixed with tiny orange grains. The cameraman suddenly exclaimed, "Is that rice? Why is it like that?" "What is this?" Old Tang curiously leaned closer. "Shrimp from Cocktail Shrimp," I casually explained. "All right." Old Tang stepped back in surprise, then said to his colleague behind him, "This young boss has some skills. This technique is called borrowing flavor, using rice to borrow the taste of shrimp. The method is to take fresh, cocktail shrimp, split them open, remove the veins, then fill them with soaked rice and steam them. This way, the rice will carry the rich aroma of shrimp roe. Then, add the steamed shrimp to increase the rice's texture and add some extra sweetness." The female assistant exclaimed, "So, this fried rice is quite elaborate. It should be this elaborate for 10,000 yuan. A portion." Old Tang remained unconvinced. "If it's just borrowing flavor and adding some shrimp, I definitely wouldn't be satisfied. 10,000 yuan meal absolutely cannot be dismissed like that." He hadn't even finished speaking when a sudden, rich and fresh aroma wafted out, interrupting him. "So fragrant. What is that?" "It smells delicious." The onlookers around exclaimed in admiration, swallowing their saliva frantically. The fresh aroma was wafting from the wine jar in my hand, its lotus leaf lid lifted. Old Tang, following the scent, stared fixedly at the jar's opening and blurted out, "Buddha jumps over the wall." He took a deep breath, then immediately blurted out, "This wine is really good. It's Xianxia. Isn't it?" Hearing him identify it instantly, I showed a slight smile. "It is Xianxia. Can you tell how old it is?" Old Tang, stunned by the aroma, quickly waved his hand politely. "You flatter me. It's good enough that I can recognize Xianxia. I can't tell its age, but this wine is so fragrant. It must be good wine." I explained. "It's 18-year-old Narhang. No wonder." Old Tang clicked his tongue, completely abandoning his skeptical attitude. "So this is Buddha jumps over the wall. No wonder it sells for so much. It certainly looks delicious." The surrounding audience discussed curiously. "The jar can't be open for too long, or the flavor will dissipate." I quickly reached a bamboo ladle into the jar and scooped out a thick abalone, as large as a bull's mouth. Old Tang's eyes nearly popped out. "Incredible. This is truly incredible. An abalone this size must be worth 10,000 yuan at market price." Right. I didn't stop, continuously scooping out sea cucumbers as big as cola cans and soft, chewy camel hoof tendons. The rich aroma instantly enveloped the entire alley. Ridiculous thought flashed through everyone's minds. Using so many top-grade ingredients, 10,000 yuan doesn't seem that expensive after all. I took out a cleaver, cut off the abalone skirt, and threw it back into the jar, leaving only the softest, sweetest tenderloin. I then sliced it into strips and diced it. "You almost made me jump. Such good abalone, and you just dice it." My hands didn't stop. I glanced at him. "How else do you make fried rice if not by dicing it?" He looked heartbroken. "What a waste of heavenly ingredients. Just eating it whole would be satisfying enough. Using it for fried rice is too wasteful." I ignored him and continued to quickly dice the sea cucumber and hoof tendons. "Excellent knife work." Old Tang couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. The assistant chimed in. "He cuts so fast it's not mainly about speed. It's about cutting evenly." Old Tang explained, closely watching my movements. "Look closely. Every ingredient he cuts. The size of each ingredient is almost identical. The hardest part is the hoof tendons. This stuff needs to be stewed until tender to be delicious. But if it's stewed too soft, it's hard to dice. It must be stewed just right. That truly shows skill." The crowd though not fully understanding, praised continuously. I then cracked 4 eggs, separated the yolks, and mixed them with the rice until all the rice grains turned golden. The onlookers almost simultaneously swallowed their saliva. The golden egg liquid coated the rice, and specks of shrimp were like fresh shrimp leaping from a golden river. Even before I started frying, they were already salivating uncontrollably. After a series of complex stir-fries, I inverted the fried rice into a golden bowl inscribed with longevity, without bounds paired with golden jade tableware, and placed it on the small dining table. Supreme Emperor fried rice, please enjoy. After saying that, I returned directly behind the snack cart. Old Tang looked at the golden fried rice steaming gently in front of him, unconsciously swallowing his saliva. He looked up at the cameraman. "Come on, fans, let's eat first and get some close-ups," the cameraman filmed while exclaiming. "It's so beautiful. Even a casual shot looks incredibly good. It's so golden, as if it can reflect golden light. Plus the orange shrimp, dark, yellow dried scallop threads, reddish-brown abalone cubes, and black jade-like sea cucumber cubes. This bowl of rice is already a treat just by looking at it." After finishing the close-ups, the female assistant quickly urged, "Hurry and try it." Old Tang excitedly picked up the golden spoon. The weight in his hand startled him. Carefully, he scooped a spoonful and put it into his mouth. After chewing twice, he suddenly sat bolt upright, as if struck by lightning, frozen in place, his eyes wide open. This taste of happiness. This is the taste of mom." He even saw countless little elves dancing around him. "Oh my God, I'm going to die. This is a happy death. No regrets." The female assistant beside him was stunned. "It can't be that serious, can it?" This fried rice even made him cry. Old Tang, having savored the aftertaste, abruptly walked up to me and bowed deeply with clasped hands. "Boss, I'm convinced. Your fried rice is truly amazing." No sooner had Old Tang's praise fallen than the surrounding onlookers immediately started discussing. Old Tang's reputation has always been honest. If he says it's delicious, it must be true. Just looking at the abalone and sea cucumber, it's worth the price. I looked at the excited Old Tang and smiled slightly. As long as you're satisfied with the meal, my efforts weren't in vain. Satisfied. More than satisfied, Old Tang excitedly said, "Do you take apprentices?" I really want to become your disciple and learn this fried rice." I smiled. "Seriously?" A bowl of fried rice actually made him want to become an apprentice in the live stream. Bullet comments flew, many questioning if it was a script, saying Old Tang was paid off, and some even claimed my wok tossing was special effects. Old Tang saw I wasn't surprised and asked, "I know you might not be willing to teach this skill, but your fried rice is truly the best I've ever eaten in my life. Who did you learn it from?" "Family tradition," I answered casually. No wonder Old Tang suddenly realized this skill either comes from the imperial palace or from royalty and nobility. Otherwise, one couldn't afford so many good ingredients. I glanced at him and asked with a smile, "So, how is it? Is 10,000 yuan still expensive?" "Not expensive. Truly not expensive." Old Tang repeatedly shook his head. "Let alone all these fine ingredients. Your skill alone is worth it." "Then stop talking nonsense. Pay up," I said, handing him the payment QR code and gesturing with my chin towards behind him. "If you don't hurry, there won't be any left to eat." Old Tang turned around and saw the cameraman and female assistant secretly eating. He immediately panicked. "These 2 unlucky kids. Leave some for me." He quickly paid the money and rushed back. WeChat payment received. 10,000 yuan. Hearing the payment notification, I breathed a sigh of relief. After guarding for a week, I've finally completed the task my master assigned. Now I should be able to enter that mysterious dream realm again. The live stream audience also heard the payment sound, and bullet comments instantly surged. At this moment, a tip notification popped up on the screen. Young Master Wang from Xianxia sent a super rocket. He also sent a bullet comment. "Streamer, where are you in Xianxia? I want to come and try your Supreme Emperor fried rice too." I scanned the bullet comments, looked at the remaining ingredients, and said to the camera, "I still have ingredients for 2 portions of fried rice. If you want to eat, come to Luju Luheng Street. I'll save one for you." Young Master Huang, without a word, sent another super rocket. "Save the other portion for me too. I'll bring my daughter to eat. We'll be there in 5 minutes." "Okay, I'll wait for you." These 2 super rockets count as a deposit. I nodded in agreement. 2 consecutive super rockets caused the live stream audience to surge to 10,000. New viewers questioned the fried rice being too expensive, while old viewers helped explain. The live stream was bustling, and on the other side, Old Tang and his 2 companions had already finished a bowl of fried rice, leaving it completely clean, and the assistant was still wanting more. "Too bad there's so little of it. You think there's too little." You ate most of it, old Tang teased, then gravely addressed the camera. This fried rice is truly top tier. The ingredients are superb. The rice is excellent, lovingly infused with shrimp essence without losing its original rice fragrance. The grains are plump and chewy. The boss's skill is even more incredible. Steady wok tossing, precise oil control, perfect heat management, and the ingredients, flavors are perfectly blended. This is why he dares to sell it for 10,000 yuan. No sooner had he finished speaking than the roar of a sports car came from the alley entrance. A red Ferrari stopped in front of the stall, and a woman with a high-tech look on her face got out and asked, "I heard there's fried rice here for 10,000 yuan a portion. Is that true?" After someone in the crowd responded, the beauty turned back and said a few words to the driver. Old Tang and the cameraman stared intently at the beauty. The female assistant couldn't help but complain. "Just look at the beauty. Don't pretend to look at the car." I ignored the commotion here, busy replying to young Master Huang's private message. He asked for my exact location, and I told him it was just around the corner at the cross street. As soon as I sent it, I heard gasps from the crowd. "Oh my God!" Xianxia. I looked in the direction of the sound. A middle-aged man in a simple t-shirt and shorts got out of the Ferrari's driver's seat. It was Xianxia. He glanced at the price on the sign and snorted. The live stream instantly exploded. Some said it was a script. Some excitedly shouted his name. Are so many people queuing up the beauty beside him asked. Xianxia frowned. No matter how good fried rice is, it's still just fried rice. The god of cookery in Hong Kong only sells it for 5,000. This small stall dares to sell it for 10,000. Anyone with half a brain knows it's a publicity stunt. "Do you want to pay an IQ tax?" The beauty hesitated. "It can't be that bad, can it? If she dares to sell it for so much, there must be something to it." As she spoke, she saw old Tang and stepped forward to ask, "Teacher Tang, are you here to film a video? Have you eaten this fried rice? How does it taste?" "To be honest, it's really good," old Tang said earnestly. "The skill is exceptional, and the ingredients are genuine. It's worth trying, heh. Just a bowl of fried rice, and right off the bat, genuine ingredients." Xianxia scoffed. Old Tang's expression changed slightly, but he patiently explained, "I'm a chef, after all, so I know more about this than you. Half-dried abalone, giant sea cucumber, top-grade shark fin, and dried scallops. Do these count as genuine ingredients?" Xianxia showed some interest. "Are all the things you mentioned in this fried rice?" Of course, old Tang raised his head. "Otherwise, would I spend 10,000 yuan on a fried egg rice? To be a fool?" Xianxia pointed at my wok. "Give me 2 portions of your emperor fried rice." I glanced at him and calmly asked, "Are you young Master Huang from Yancheng?" Xianxia was taken aback. "What young Master Huang from Yancheng if not?" "Then I'm sorry." I shook my head. "I only have ingredients for 2 portions left, and they've already been reserved for young Master Huang from Yancheng. If you want to eat, come tomorrow morning." Just as Xianxia was about to speak, the sound of a sports car came from the alley entrance again. A McLaren P1 stopped, and a white, chubby man weighing over 200 pounds slowly got out, panting. Behind him followed a 7 or 8-year-old girl. He saw Xianxia and exclaimed in surprise, "Hey, Brother Tian, what are you doing here? Bringing your girlfriend to eat fried rice?" Xianxia nodded faintly. "You have good taste. This fried rice is really something," the fat man said with a smile, then suddenly remembered something. "Oh, right. These last 2 portions were reserved by me." Xianxia twitched his lips. "So you're young Master Huang from Yancheng?" "Haha, just a nickname," the fat man laughed. "How about this? I'll give you one of the 2 portions I ordered. But 1 portion isn't enough for 2 people. You 2 eat it. We'll come another day." Xianxia shook his head. The beauty beside him advised, "1 portion is fine. I eat little. Just a taste will do. You eat more. Does it have to be today for this broken fried rice?" Xianxia frowned. My eyes narrowed, and I said, "Today's meals are already set and cannot be changed. If you want to eat, come back tomorrow." Xianxia stopped and looked at me. "What? You're not selling your fried rice?" "That's right." I looked at him calmly, neither humble nor arrogant. In the dream realm, even the reigning emperor, if he wanted to eat my fried rice, had to consider my master's mood. He's just a rich 2nd generation. Why should I indulge him in the live stream? Bullet comments surged. Some praised my toughness, some teased Xianxia for being scripted. The internet celebrity beauty, fearing things would escalate, quickly pulled Xianxia. "All right, let's come another day." Just then, a white-haired old man walked up to the small dining table, staring intently at the tableware holding the fried rice, and abruptly asked, "Where did this tableware come from?" I looked up. "It's mine. Is there a problem?" The old man looked up. his expression serious. May I pick it up and take a look? I noticed the rosewood prayer beads in his hand and nodded. You may. Thank you. The old man carefully lifted the golden bowl, saw the mark on the bottom, and exclaimed in surprise, it truly is the longevity without bounds bowl. Jingtailan craftsmanship, for the benefit of future generations, ensuring eternal fame. This is Emperor Qianlong's personal bowl, the #1 bowl in the world. The crowd was in an uproar. The old man asked again, to my knowledge, this set of bowls should be in the palace museum. How do you have it? I retorted. May I ask who you are? My name is Kai, and I am a researcher at the palace museum, specializing in ancient ceramics. The old man introduced himself. The onlookers were astonished. In the live stream, however, some still questioned, until someone verified Kai's identity. Only then did the haters gradually fall silent, then turned to question Kai for seeking personal gain. Kai ignored the live stream's controversy and excitedly said, this is the first time I've seen a genuine article among the people. I'm truly delighted to see such a treasure. Young Master Wang's daughter curiously asked, Grandpa, what is a longevity without bounds bowl? Kai smiled and explained, this is a Jingtailan tableware set commissioned by the Imperial workshops for Emperor Qianlong's 80th birthday. It's one of the 8 wonders of Yanjing, used exclusively by Emperor Qianlong on special occasions and festivals. The inscription for the eternal preservation of descendants on the bowl was his wish for his descendants to pass it down as a family heirloom. Old Tang nervously asked, Teacher Kai, how are you sure this was used by Emperor Qianlong? If I accidentally chip it, even if I sell everything, I couldn't afford to compensate. Kai, he pointed to the patterns on the bowl. These sunflower dragon motifs, lotus branches, and the 4 characters longevity without bounds were all personally designed by Qianlong and took a year to complete. There's no mistake, he added. The value of this bowl is even higher than that Ferrari. Everyone's gaze simultaneously turned to Zhao Yunchen. He was expressionless, but in his heart, he was teeming with doubt, suspecting this was a setup targeting him. He snorted, told the internet celebrity beauty to go and drove away. I paid no attention to his departure and continued scrubbing the stove. Old Tang looked at the bowl in Kai's hand, filled with lingering fear. Good heavens, I just ate from a 20 million yuan bowl. Kai. He grew more and more puzzled the more he looked. This bowl is indeed genuine, but it has never left the Imperial Palace. Where did you get it? It's a family heirloom, I said calmly, wiping my hands. Kai's eyes lit up. Your ancestors were from the Imperial kitchen. Ancient texts record that Emperor Qianlong was very fond of a certain fried rice, and even took chefs to Yangzhou, which later led to today's Yangzhou fried rice. I didn't explain, just held out my hand for the bowl. Kai reluctantly handed the bowl to me, watching me scrub it vigorously with dish soap. Stop. You're desecrating a treasure. I frowned. If I don't scrub it clean, how can I give it to guests? Kai was so angry he couldn't speak. Just then, I took out an even, larger longevity without bounds bowl from the cupboard. The onlookers gasped, but Kai excitedly grabbed my hand. A set? You have an entire set. Young man, these are national treasures. Don't use them. I'll contact my colleagues to appraise them. We'll pay a high price. Absolutely not letting you suffer a loss, sir. These are my things. I'll use them however I want. Don't disturb my business. I pushed his hand away and restarted the fire to fry rice. Young Master Huang, smelling the aroma, exclaimed in surprise. It looked fake in the live stream, but I didn't expect it to be so fragrant in real life. The live streams. Bullet comments became lively again. The snack stalls nearby also saw their business boom, riding on my popularity. Kai was still trying to persuade me. I looked at the young man and said sternly, Teacher Kai, in my eyes, this bowl is just a tool for holding rice. If a rice bowl isn't used to hold rice, what's the difference between it and a broken stone? The #1 fried rice in the world, served in the #1 bowl in the world, is only right and proper. My customers have paid, so I should use the best bowl to serve them. That's making the best use of things. Kai was speechless, and the onlookers also chimed in with agreement. Seeing my resolute attitude, she could only sigh and leave. Soon, the 2 portions of fried rice were ready. I brought them to young Master Huang and his daughter. The little girl exclaimed in surprise, Wow, so fragrant. Young Master Huang took a bite, then put down his spoon in shock. Boss, you're amazing. I'm convinced he had originally just come to accompany his daughter for a taste. But at this moment, he felt that 10,000 yuan really wasn't expensive. The little girl devoured her meal, then gave a thumbs up. Brother, you're amazing. Can I come eat again tomorrow? I might not be selling tomorrow, I said with a smile, pointing to the jar. Ingredients of this caliber aren't available every day. Young Master Huang nodded in agreement. Indeed, ballon this big I've only eaten at private clubs. I looked at the little girl's slender wrist and asked, "Is her health not very good?" Young Master Huang was surprised. "You can tell. She's tired and has mild anorexia. My wife and I have been worried to death. Today is the most she's ever eaten." "Thank you, you're welcome," I thought for a moment. I do know a dietary remedy for her condition. There's a soup that can cure it, but I've forgotten the recipe. I'll go back and ask. Young Master Huang excitedly said. "Please, you must ask. As long as it can cure her, I'm willing to spend any amount. It won't cost much. They're all common ingredients," I said casually. Old Tang leaned over and asked, "Boss, you can even cure anorexia. For other illnesses, one needs to see a doctor, but for not liking to eat, a chef is indeed more experienced." I smiled and returned to the front of the stall. I glanced at the live stream. There were 20,000 viewers, and the tips amounted to about 2,000 yuan, much better than previous days. After packing up, I pushed the snack cart home, arriving at my uncle's self-built house close to 1 o'clock. My parents passed away early, and my uncle raised me, giving me a room. I made a bucket of instant noodles with sausage and an egg. After frying tens of thousands of portions of fried rice in the dream realm, I was long sick of it. Now, what I wanted most to eat was instant noodles. After finishing the instant noodles and a quick wash, I lay on my bed. The first time I entered the dream realm, I was very excited, but after 7 years of learning to fry rice there, I almost went crazy. However, after experiencing the benefits the dream realm brought, I felt a renewed sense of anticipation. I wonder if I'll be able to see my master this time. Lost in thought, I gradually fell asleep. I don't know how much time passed before I woke up with a start. Under my feet was a rough wooden floor. A few dozen steps away, colorful mist filled the air. In front of me stood a tombstone over a meter tall. Seeing the tombstone, my heart settled. Indeed, I was back. I stepped up to the tombstone and reached out to touch its surface. It was smooth and cold to the touch, hard like metal. Last time, I tried to scratch it with my fingernails and bite it with my teeth, but couldn't leave a single mark. Yet, it had wooden patterns and a cross-section of broken grain. I remembered last time I touched it. There was nothing on the tombstone except for the edge patterns. But now, there was an extra millimeter. Of text, living as Lai Kyle for 7 years. I learned the Supreme Emperor fried rice, but I only experienced 7 years. Yet the tombstone recorded his entire life. Could this tombstone just be a medium, and I merely experienced a part of his life? I reached out to touch the line of text. With a snap, my fingertip felt as if it had been burned. The ground beneath me immediately rumbled and shook. I hastily retreated 2 steps, almost tripping over a suddenly appearing 50-centimeter tall golden metal plate behind me. This metal plate was pure throughout. Its base actually fused with the wooden floor. Linear patterns were carved around it, and in the blank center, strikingly, was my personal information. Lai Yi, born July 5, 2000, from Xianxia, Yu Province, graduated with a degree in food science and engineering. Occupation, chef. Specialty, supreme, emperor fried rice. I was bewildered. How could this information be carved here? Its appearance was similar to a tombstone. I twitched my lips. Let's just call it a metal plate. I looked back at the tombstone. The previously dense, colorful mist wall behind it had thinned considerably. Through the mist, I could see a rectangular object, similar in shape but a circle larger than the tombstone. Observing it from a different angle, I confirmed it wasn't a reflection, but I couldn't make out its exact appearance. I walked to the mist wall and pushed it with my hand. My palm actually pressed 1 centimeter deep into the mist, much softer than last time. Was it because of the golden plate? I withdrew my hand. My forearm muscles were clearly visible from the effort. When I first entered the dream realm, I couldn't even lift the wok. I followed my master, stir-frying sand for 3 years. After leaving the dream realm, my physical strength had truly improved. Otherwise, with my freshly graduated physique, I wouldn't have been able to perform the Supreme Emperor fried rice's stir-frying technique. Last time I came in, I gained a lot. This time, I naturally didn't want to return empty-handed. I went back to the tombstone, took off my paper ring, twisted out a sharp needle, pricked my right ring finger, and smeared the bead of blood that emerged onto the tombstone. Who are you calling Master Zhao? I was bewildered when I suddenly saw a familiar figure. Lai Kyle, the person I possessed last time. I quickly chased after him and grabbed him. Lai Kyle turned back confused, muttering, "Niar, don't mess around. Master told me to buy eggs. If I miss the time, I'll be the one getting beaten hearing his Suju dialect." I was stunned, and my hand involuntarily loosened. Lai Kyle glanced at me, muttered, and quickly left the imperial kitchen. I frowned, pondered for a moment, then quickly walked to the water vat outside the door, and looked down. The water reflected a man with thick eyebrows and large eyes. Niu Erguan, he was another imperial chef in the imperial kitchen, favored by the emperor, whose specialty was the #1 beef noodles in the world. I suddenly realized, so, after learning one dish and coming back in, I would possess a different person. Every chef in the imperial kitchen had a unique skill. Could I learn everyone's ultimate techniques through this place? Thinking of this, a wave of excitement surged through my heart. "Are you crazy?" Kid Master Zhao followed out. "Are you coming? Master," I responded and quickly ran. "Zio, when? You want black cardamom, seeded with the shell remaining. Is it for braised meat? Then 2 pieces should be enough." "Right." "Huh? How did you suddenly get so smart?" "Kid," Master Zhao looked at me in confusion. I gave a mischievous smile, offered no explanation, and darted towards the storeroom. "I'm off to deal with the evil now." "He's out the door," Master Zhao mumbled, shaking his head and returning to the imperial kitchen. 4 years passed in a flash, and I reappeared on the upper level, the colorful mist space. I sighed softly, feeling tired, and looked at the tombstone. As expected, it now had a biography of female official Erguan. Behind me, the metal plate of personal specialties column also added the world's best beef noodles before I came back. Master Zhao gave me a task. "This round for me. You've passed, but what I say doesn't count. You must pass the test of His Majesty, that Emperor Snake. Only if His Majesty eats satisfactorily, then it will truly be considered the world's best beef noodles. Make a bowl and send it to His Majesty. If I can get a reward of 20,000 gold from His Majesty, then I can confidently pass on my complete skill set to you. Just like last time, the real-world requirements for the task have changed. This time, I need to sell a portion for 20,000 yuan. The world's best beef noodles, the main ingredient for this bowl of noodles, is only beef, and the auxiliary ingredient is broth. Yet the difficulty of making it far surpasses the Supreme Emperor's. Fried rice, relying on my 7 years of culinary skill. I mastered the broth recipe in half a month, but the noodles, paper-thin beef, and Kaiyankun eggs, preparation took a full 4 years. I picked up the cloud iron knife box in my hand. These were 18 knives brought back from the dream. They were bestowed by the emperor upon Niu Erguan. Niu Erguan's biography on the tombstone stated that after learning to cook at 6, he became the imperial chef for Emperor Jiaking, obtained the cloud iron knives, and eventually died from excessive drinking and dissipation. I pondered. The Supreme Emperor's fried rice and the world's best beef noodles had both been lost in reality. Perhaps this dream space was meant to recreate these lost arts. Looking behind the tombstone, the tomb wall had faded a bit more. The outlines of the objects inside became clearer. I reached out and pressed. My palm sank at about 1.5 palm lengths. It seemed that filling the tombstone would open the tomb wall. With a thought, the ground beneath my feet cracked open. I instantly fell. The next second, I opened my eyes. The familiar damp ceiling confirmed I was back in reality. It was already bright outside the window. My phone showed I had spent 4 years in the dream, but only 4 hours had passed in reality. On the bedside table were the cloud iron knives. I remembered earlier the boundless longevity bowl I brought out. I decided to keep it to package the beef noodles, as it could create more value. I stretched and got. My body performed 100 push-ups, yet I still had energy to spare. Clearly, the training effects from 2 years of lifting in 10 different places within the dream had also carried over into reality. The me in the mirror already had clear muscle definition. I took a shower and changed into fresh clothes. I went downstairs to the snack stall and wiped off the black board's fried rice price. I rewrote it with the world's best beef noodles. 20,000 yuan a portion. The Supreme Emperor's fried rice was no longer available. The top-tier free ingredients had become dragon-slaying extremely rare/difficult to obtain. Unless customers brought their own ingredients, I wouldn't make it again. As for the world's best beef noodles, the ingredients were common. It just took effort. I grabbed my second uncle's motorcycle keys and hurried to the farmer's market to buy fresh beef, eggs, and crabs. Only at this time could I buy the freshest ingredients. I didn't notice that old Tang at 4 a.m. had posted a shop-exploring video. The title was 10,000 yuan sky-high fried rice. Hype or worth the price. It had already been on various major platforms. quietly fermenting. A nurse from the professional class, He Jing, scrolled past the video. At first, she complained about the price, but seeing the top-tier ingredients and my miraculous stir-frying skills, she was completely captivated. She even couldn't help but open the food delivery app. In the video, old Tang took one bite and bowed his fists in praise of my fried rice. Boss, I'm impressed. This fried rice is truly awesome. The female assistant and cameraman secretly ate some and exclaimed repeatedly. Holy crap, the bullet comments instantly exploded. As the video went viral, netizens discussed the fried rice, my cooking skills, and the authenticity of that set of boundless longevity bowls. Some even crowdfunded to try a bowl. The video was reposted abroad platforms, attracting a large number of foreign netizens. Netizens from various countries left comments, praising it. Two young girls came over, and after seeing the price on the blackboard, they looked at each other in shock, muttering, scam, and left. Afterwards, many more people came. After seeing the price, they either left indignantly or scoffed and mocked, but I didn't care at all. The technical skill involved in this bowl of noodles deserved the price. I took out my phone and wrote down today's menu. I started a live stream. After the last live stream, I already had 2,000 followers. Soon after starting, 500 people poured in. The bullet comments were full of teasing and doubt. Some asked why I wasn't selling fried rice. Others discussed the authenticity of the boundless longevity bowl. I faced the camera and said, today, I'm not selling the Supreme Emperor's fried rice. Without enough raw ingredients, it's temporarily not for sale. Today, I'm selling the world's best beef noodles. I'm taking reservations. No delivery. A total of 5 portions. First come, first served. The bullet comments immediately filled with complaints. Just then, 10 super rockets virtual gifts flew by consecutively. Young Master Huang of Xianxia left a message. Boss, please reserve 2 portions for me. The bullet comments instantly surged. The number of viewers in the live stream soared to 10,000. I nodded in acknowledgement and began preparations. 2 streets away, the Challenge Limits production team was filming. Special guest Xianxia proactively found newcomer Zhao Yimai to form an alliance. Golden Vein, junior sister. Let's form an alliance, Zhao Yimai quickly responded. Xianxia confidently patted his chest. No need to worry. Just follow me. We'll definitely crush them. He glanced in a direction, raised a hand, and pointed. No rush. Let's first take a look, he said, and led Zhao Yimai towards the cross street where I was. The drone in midair closely followed. Filming him, Xianxia appeared in the crowd. Fans immediately greeted him excitedly. Xiaoyu, look here. Village flower. Village flower, he responded with a cheerful laugh, and chatted casually with his fans. Where are you all from? Hunan? Hunan cuisine is delicious, but it's too spicy. Want a photo? Sure. Do you all want to join? Learning that fans wanted autographs, he generously led Zhao Yimai into the crowd for photos. After the photos, he smiled and said, we've taken photos with you. And Golden Vein junior sister also joined. Now it's your turn to help us with a favor. As he spoke, he took out the task card and recited, our task today is to seek flavors in Xianxia, which means finding the best food in Xianxia. You in Xianxia, what delicious foods have you eaten? Which place do you think is the best? You can tell us, but it's best if it's nearby, because our task has a time limit, and we can't go too far. Everyone started recommending things all at once. On Junction Road, there's a beef brisket noodle shop. The taste is great. The beef brisket is tender, and the noodles are chewy. And in Xianxia Plaza, there's a chaos in beef hotpot place, which is really good. The beef is so fresh, delicious, and not expensive. Or how about a seafood street stall? There's a street stall with really fresh fish porridge. Zhao Yimai was completely bewildered. She could only stand aside, repeatedly responding. Xianxia, meanwhile, picked out useful information and noted it on his phone. He also followed up, asking for specific locations and whether they offered delivery. After noting down the information, Xianxia led Zhao Yimai forward. While sharing his experience, our task has a time limit. We only have 2 hours. This also includes the time to gather information, so we can't go to places too far away. In the surrounding area, finding good food. Generally, there are 3 methods. One is to look at food ranking recommendations. But food rankings are usually for the entire city, which is too broad. So that's ruled out. Another is recommendations from acquaintances. Those fans just now were all locals. Asking them definitely won't be wrong. Zhao Yimai nodded blankly and asked, "What's the third method then?" "It's about looking at queues." Xianxia gave a faint smile. "Places with long queues usually don't have bad food. If you're worried it's just a trendy internet celebrity shop's hype, you can also ask customers who just finished eating and listen to their reviews. Then you'll know if it's good or not." Zhao Yimai exclaimed. "How impressive, not bad," Xianxia explained with a smile. "I entered the industry as a waiter in a restaurant before, really." "Is that true?" "It's true." Zhao Yimai was a bit surprised. "Why would I lie to you? You can find it online." Xianxia grinned and put an arm around him. "Just follow me, and you can rest assured I'll get you through this challenge quickly." Meanwhile, the crowd at the cross street intersection thinned out a bit. Fans were all busy tracking the celebrity's location. Various snack stalls still had people queuing in front. Only in front of my stall was there a vacuum. Passers-by would actively walk around it, and occasionally someone would point and gesture. They all knew I was selling beef noodles for 20,000 yuan a portion. I didn't pay it any mind, focusing only on preparing ingredients. "Fried rice, bro," a clear voice called out. I looked up and saw young Master Huang walking over, holding Gyuguo's hand, accompanied by a young woman. Gyuguo broke free from young Master Huang's hand and ran to the stall. Looking around, "Fried rice, brother. Is there fried rice today?" "Call him boss." "It's rude." Young Master Huang approached with the young woman. The young woman gently scolded Gyuguo. "It's fine," I said, looking at young Master Huang, and asked, "Is this your wife?" "That's right." "Haha," young Master Huang said, laughing and putting an arm around the young woman's shoulder. "Last night, Gyuguo kept talking about how delicious your fried rice was after we got back. She was very curious and wanted to try it too. Today, you won't be able to taste it. The ingredients aren't enough. Today, there are only beef noodles," I said. As I spoke, I brought out a plate of red noodle skin beef. "Noodles?" Gyuguo asked curiously. "Are they delicious?" I looked at him and smiled. "If it's not delicious, I'll give you a refund." "Haha, if you say so." "I'm relieved," said young Master Huang, laughing. "Someone who can make such delicious fried rice surely can't have bad skills." He paused, then asked again, "There are 3 of us today. Do you have an extra portion? Can you sell me one more?" "No. Today only the portion you ordered is available," I said. Nodding, young Master Huang happily led the young woman to sit at the small dining table. The young woman frowned slightly, looking at the simple table and noisy environment. Young Master Huang reassured her. "It's fine. Sit down. This boss is very particular, and his cooking is very clean." The young woman nodded and took out a tissue to wipe the tabletop. Seeing the tissue remain clean, she finally sat down with peace of mind. Gyuguo excitedly ran back, cheering. "Fried rice, brother is making a lantern." Lantern. Young Master Huang was puzzled. "Please don't, stingy, like, subscribe, share, tip, and support." "How did Ming Jing and the streamer start playing with sugar?" "I didn't look at the live stream. After making the sugar art components and letting them cool, I used sugar to adhere them together. Soon, someone in the live stream saw the outline. Hey, it looks like a lantern. Is this a palace lantern? How does the streamer even know how to make this? What does this have to do with beef noodles?" Relationship. After finishing the palace lantern, I straightened up, casually glanced at the live stream, and explained, "My world's best beef noodles is a set meal. Besides a bowl of beef noodles, the set meal also includes a portion of paper-thin beef and a cayenne egg. This sugar-made palace lantern is used as an ingredient for the paper-thin beef." After speaking, I took out a plate of beef tenderloin from the refrigerator, which was trimmed of fascia and had a rich red color. I opened the knife box and took out a foot-long, wide and thin knife. I placed the tenderloin on the cutting board and sliced it cleanly. With a shaw sound, the blade easily sank into the meat. With a gentle flick, the outer piece of meat sprang into the plate. The cross-section of the tenderloin was smooth and even. Then I continued to slice, turning the knife sideways. Hanging from the blade was a fresh, thin, translucent slice of beef. The live stream's bullet comments instantly erupted. "Wow, so thin. You can see light through it. Is it real or fake? Is the streamer using special effects? How can meat be sliced so thin? Is this the paper-thin beef? You can really see through it like a shadow puppet." I quickly sliced 8 beef pieces of the same size. I took out a flat-bottomed pan, placed it on the stove, and lit the flame. I directly felt the temperature of the pan bottom with my palm. Paper-thin beef requires precise heat control to an extreme degree. Just mastering the heat control took me 2 years of practice. And my palm felt a temperature similar to a freshly boiled egg. I adjusted the flame to its lowest setting. I swiftly flicked the beef slices onto the bottom of the pan. With a sizzling sound, the aroma of beef instantly spread. The beef slices, upon contact with the pan, quickly cooked on one side but didn't curl. I watched the slices, flipping them every second until they became tender and firm. Then I repeated the process, frying all the remaining beef slices. After checking them under the light and confirming they were satisfactory, I used a small knife to trim the beef slices into squares. Then I carved patterns and characters onto them. "Wow, brother, you're amazing," Gyugyo leaned, clapping his hands in admiration. I smiled and took the beef slice carved with natural talent and embedded it into the side of the Sugar Palace lantern. Then I carved the 8 characters, the world's best and greatest in the world, onto 8 beef slices, respectively, and inlaid them into the 8 facets of the palace lantern. I lit a small smokeless candle inside. A delicate palace lantern was complete. The live stream was completely boiling over. Bullet comments flew everywhere. "This is real paper-thin beef, holy crap. He actually made a lamp out of beef. This is simply a work of art. Isn't it?" The young woman also walked to the stall, looking at the paper-thin beef lantern with a face full of shock. She pulled Gyugyo back to the table. Young Master Wang asked with a smile, "How is it?" "Pretty good. Right, not bad," the young woman nodded. "This boss has really impressive knife skills." She had actually been against coming to a street stall at first, worried about hygiene, but seeing my stall tidied up cleanly and neatly, and witnessing my knife skills, a bit more expectation grew in her heart. Her daughter, Gyugyo, always had a poor appetite, yet she only loved to eat my fried rice. He just wanted to see what skills I truly possessed. Just then, a rich beef aroma wafted open around. I lifted the lid of the soup pot, scooped out 2 large spoonfuls of beef broth, and put it in a pan to boil. Then I took out a wooden tray, on which was a thin skin rolled from beef paste. It was wrapped top and bottom with glutinous rice paper. This was made by me using pure beef paste with concentrated beef bone and beef skin broth to create the beef noodle skin. I took out a square cleaver and cut the beef noodle skin into rectangles. Then I cut it into thin strips. These were beef noodles made purely from beef, without a trace of flour. Once the broth boiled, I put the beef noodles into the pot, cooked them for 10 seconds, then turned off the heat. I divided them into 3 portions, using 3 boundless longevity bowls. Gyugyo impatiently ran over, sniffed, and cheered. "So fragrant. It smells delicious, young Master Huang." And the young woman also walked up. The young woman looked at the clear soup and reddish noodles in the bowl and couldn't help but ask, "Is this the world's best beef you mentioned?" "Noodles?" "That's right." I lifted the lid of the steamer. Inside were a few ordinary eggs. I put 3 in small bowls and placed them in front of them, 1 for each person. The young woman looked at the eggs, which weren't even peeled, and couldn't help but mumble, "Can this even be delicious?" The live stream was also full of doubts. "This is a bit disappointing, isn't it? It looks very ordinary. The noodles are one thing, but at least marinate the eggs. Not even peeling them is too careless. Isn't it?" Young Master Huang also mumbled a bit, looking at the clear soup noodles. He asked me if I had green onions or chives. "No need," I explained. "This bowl of noodles is about the original taste of beef, and the flavor is sufficient." Young Master Wang had no choice but to give up. Gyugyo was already eager to eat the noodles. Young Master Wang helped him carry it back to the table. The young woman hesitated, picked up her bowl, and complained, "Even the bowls have to be carried by ourselves." Young Master Wang shook his head. "Don't underestimate this bowl. This bowl is more expensive than my car." "Huh? Really?" The young woman was startled. Young Master Huang explained, "Yesterday, an expert from the Palace Museum appraised this bowl, saying it was used by the Emperor. He even wanted to persuade the boss to sell the bowl to the Palace Museum. This boss is so rich." Yet, the young woman asked, puzzled, "Then why is he still running a street stall? Who knows? Maybe he's promoting his craft," Young Master Huang said, and then heard Gyugyo slurping the soup. Gyugyo squinted his eyes happily and said, "Wow, this soup is so delicious." The young woman was very surprised. She had never seen Gyugyo enjoy eating so much. She also took a spoonful of soup and took a sip. She was instantly amazed by the rich beef aroma and exclaimed, "This soup is too delicious." Young Master Wang also took a sip. He blurted out, "Damn, it's delicious." "Boss," the young woman turned to me and asked, "How did you make your soup?" "Why is it so delicious?" I casually replied. 4 beef leg bones, washed. 5 cattas of beef brisket, soaked to remove blood, blanched. 3, de-oil the accumulated aged eggs. Then add 1 piece of well-prepared, dry-fried 6 liang of essential ham. Add spices and salt, and cook together for 6 hours, and it's done in the live stream. Some viewers questioned, "He's really putting on a show. What's the difference between this soup and plain water?" Can it even have flavor? How can soup boiled with so many ingredients be so clear? Young Master Huang looked at the live stream's bullet comments and began to explain. Who's acting? This soup is really delicious. Okay. If you don't believe me, come and taste it yourselves. He paused, then said, why is the soup so clear? I know the streamer must have washed the soup with minced meat. Right, he looked at me for confirmation. I nodded and asked with a smile. You also know how to make clear consam. Huh? Haha. This body of mine wasn't grown for nothing. Young Master Huang patted his belly. Soup can be washed, the young woman asked curiously. Of course, it can, young Master Huang explained. Some chefs who make consam will mince beef or chicken into a paste, then put it into the soup pot to cook. This way, the minced meat will absorb the impurities in the soup. Once all the impurities are absorbed into the minced meat, then you remove the minced meat by filtering it out, and the soup becomes very clear. Boiled cabbage in clear broth is made this way. Oh, I remember now. Last time we went to eat boiled cabbage in clear broth, the young woman suddenly realized and asked again. But the boiled cabbage in clear broth we ate that time. The soup was a bit pale yellow. Why is this bowl of soup so clear? Yet the flavor is so rich. She looked at me for an answer. I smiled. That depends on the chef's control of the heat. It takes years of practice to achieve. Young Master Huang laughed and smoothed things. This is his exclusive secret recipe. It definitely can't be shared. Haha, I reminded them that they could eat the noodles first. The current texture. I'm tasting pure beef flavor. But why doesn't it break? And why is it so chewy? As I cleaned the knives and put them into the knife box, I explained, just incorporate the concentrated broth made from beef bones and hides into the beef paste. The gelatin inside will bind the beef paste, making it tender and chewy. I then asked him, have you ever had pork skin jelly? Oh, if you put it that way, I understand, young Master Huang said, examining the noodles. So, this is actually meat jelly noodles, he then asked curiously. But doesn't meat jelly melt when heated? Pork skin jelly is also eaten cold. Why don't your beef noodles melt? I know, the young woman asked excitedly. Is it glutinous rice paper? Right, I smiled and nodded. That's right. Indeed. I knew I tasted a hint of glutinous rice. The young woman turned to young Master Huang and said, honey, look, there's a thin, translucent outer layer on both the top and bottom of these noodles. That's the glutinous rice taste. Viewers in the live stream were full of doubt, sending bullet comments asking, how can glutinous rice paper be used to make noodles? I didn't explain much. Wrapping beef slices with glutinous rice paper was my innovation. It's better than the cornstarch slurry my master poured in the dream, because it's more flavor neutral. However, this skill takes years of practice to master. Young Master Huang and Guoguo were eating the noodles heartily. Viewers in the live stream watched, drooling. They left comments one after another, saying they wanted to eat their hometown noodles to satisfy their cravings. Young Master Huang took a few bites, then looked at the egg in front of him and said regretfully, boss, your noodles are truly delicious, and the soup is also very good. It's just that this egg is a bit of an eyesore. If it could be cooked in your broth, it would definitely be delicious. I smiled, pointed to the menu, and asked, can you guess this? Egg is called Xianxia egg. Young Master Huang was startled and mumbled. What does that mean? Does it contain a universe within? I calmly indicated. You'll know once you taste it. Young Master Huang picked up the egg and cracked its shell. Seeing the pristine white egg white inside, he became even more puzzled. The haters in the live stream also started complaining. The streamer is boasting too much, isn't he? This is just an ordinary egg. Young Master Huang, seeing this, wanted to put the egg back. Never mind. I don't like eating eggs, I suddenly spoke up to remind him. The essence of food is for eating, not for looking. Young Master Huang hesitated for a moment, but still took the egg back. After peeling it, he gulped it into his mouth. With one bite, a rich aroma of crab roe instantly burst in his mouth. He was completely stunned, swallowing it blankly, and looked at me as if I were an immortal. The yolk of this egg is made of crab roe. How the young woman almost thought she misheard. Crab roe? How is that possible? She picked up the egg and examined it carefully. This is just an egg. How can it have crab roe? How should I know? Young Master Huang had a look of existential doubt. I also thought it was just an ordinary egg, but when I bit into it, it was crab roe inside. The live stream's bullet comments instantly exploded. You're kidding, right? Even a magician wouldn't dare to do this trick. How can there be small pieces of crab roe and crab paste in a soft-boiled egg? Streamer, please don't perform immortal arts under the guise of cooking. Okay, there were also viewers sending virtual airplanes, begging me to reveal the making method. The young woman skeptically peeled the egg and gently bit into half of it. Thick crab roe juice instantly oozed out, and the aroma filled her mouth. She covered her mouth in astonishment. It really is crab roe. My goodness, how was this done? The remaining half in her hand? Egg contained golden sauce mixed with reddish-orange crab roe and translucent crab paste. Young Master Wang curiously, Grab, how on earth did you get the yolk in there? You don't actually know some magic. To you, you must believe in the wisdom of the working people, I said with a smile, picking up the last egg, with my left hand holding the smaller end, and my right hand feeling around the larger end for a moment. With a gentle rub, a round piece of eggshell came off. The eggshell is brittle. A light tap with a knife blade can create tiny cracks. You can open a lid, I said. As I spoke, a small knife appeared in my hand, and I swiftly tapped around the smaller end of the. With a flick of my finger, I removed another complete round piece of eggshell. I explained, there are tools now that can also open it, but I'm used to using a knife. The seam is smaller, and it's harder to notice after being sealed. Awesome. Young Master Wang watched, dumbfounded. Viewers in the live stream were also stunned by my knife skills and amazed. Bullet comments continuously praised me. Young Master Wang asked again, so it's opened, then what? Where did the original yolk go? In the crab roe. How was that put in? I explained with a smile. Once you can open it, putting things inside is easy. Pour out the egg white and yolk. Then use crab roe, crab paste, and the leftover concentrated beef noodle broth to make a crab roe paste. Use a mold to solidify it into a yolk-like ball. Then, put it into the eggshell. Add back the egg white. Seal the shell, and steam it until cooked. That's it. I placed the egg in front of Gyugyuo's bowl. Gyugyuo blinked his mouth and said, I don't like eating eggs. It's very delicious, I said, rubbing his head. Just try one bite. Gyugyuo took a bite. His eyes instantly lit up. He swallowed it whole and mumbled, delicious. So delicious. This is the best I've ever eaten. Egg. Just then, commotion came from the alley entrance. A voice came from outside the crowd. Where? What's the best food? Immediately, the surrounding crowd surged forward with a buzz. Screams erupted. Sheu, Zhao Yimai, I love your acting. The source, young Sheu and Zhao Yimai walked over hand in hand, having already sampled snacks from 7 or 8 Yangcheng eateries. The dishes from the shops recommended by fans were all good, but they always felt something was missing. With only half an hour left for the task, Zhao Yimai asked, Sister Sheu, which one do you think tasted good? I think that roast goose place was better, Yang Sheu said as she walked. That roast goose was so fragrant. The skin was crispy, and the meat was very juicy. Then why don't we just choose the roast goose? Zhao Yimai asked tentatively. Yang Sheu pondered, but their roast geese are all roasted in the morning. It would be perfect if it were fresh out of the oven. What time is it now? 7:30. Not much time left. Yang Sheu pondered slightly. Then after we finish this street, if we don't find anything better, we'll go back and choose the roast goose. The two walked into an old alley full of life and bustle. Fans immediately surged forward to greet them. Yang Sheu asked with a smile, what good food is there in this alley? Just as he finished speaking, Gyugyuo's voice came. Delicious. This is the best I've ever eaten. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, share, and reward to support Mingjing and Diandian column. So fragrant. As Yang Sheu approached, he smelled the aroma of beef soup. Zhao Yimai, however, first noticed the prize list. Startled, she covered her mouth and tugged at Yang Sheu's arm. What's wrong? Zhao Yimai pointed at the blackboard. Yang Sheu looked over and exclaimed, am I seeing this right? 20,000 yuan for one serving, he asked the accompanying director. Is this someone from the production team? The director shook his head. Yang Sheu was even more surprised. Not from our production team. Then why is it 20,000 yuan a serving? So expensive. Fans all echoed the complaints. Young Master Wang's face showed displeasure. He frowned and retorted, have you even eaten it? You're just talking nonsense here. How much to set? The price is the owner's freedom. If you're not buying, then stop complaining, the fans retorted. Young Master Wang was so annoyed he laughed. He pulled out a McLaren P1 key, pressed it, and the engine roared to life. I make hundreds of millions a year. Do I need to be a shill for others? Seeing this, Yang Sheu quickly tried to smooth things over. Hello, big brother. This must be your wife. She's so beautiful. And this is your daughter. So cute. After exchanging pleasantries, he politely asked, big brother, for our patrolling Yangcheng mission, are you eating this 20,000 yuan beef noodle soup? Is it good? Young Master Wang smiled and pointed at the noodles in front of him. If I may speak frankly, let alone Xianxia, this bowl of noodles has no rival in the entire world. I dare to say that the surrounding audience burst into laughter. Xianxia quickly chimed in. It must be the best beef noodles you've ever had. Big brother, right? No. Whether I've eaten it or not, this bowl of noodles can be called the best in the world, young Master Huang emphasized again. Xianxia sighed. Big brother, I really can't help you with that, no problem. I'm responsible for what I say. If you don't believe me, try it. I'll treat you. If it's not good, I'll go skinny dipping and catch a turd for you, Xianxia. And Zhao Yimai quickly waved their hands. No, there's no need for that, I, listening amusedly from the side, interjected. Old Huang, don't speak too absolutely. There's always someone better, and something beyond the heavens, it's fine. I'm just that confident, young Master Huang said, glancing sideways at the fans. I just can't stand some people who don't understand the situation yet act like they know everything. Xianxia and Zhao Yimai felt a bit awkward. Zhao Yimai tugged at Xiao's sleeve. Sister Xiaoyu, do you want to eat? Hearing her say that, I actually do want to try it, but 20,000 yuan for one serving. It's so expensive. The accompanying director gestured for her to buy a portion. Xiaoyu gritted her teeth. Then let's buy one serving. The two of us can share it. Just a taste, boss. Then please make one for us. Can we watch you make it? Xiaoyu leaned towards the stall. I've never even seen what a 20,000 yuan bowl of noodles looks like. As you wish, I took out the ingredients. I began making the shadow lantern beef. Xianxia and Zhao Yimai watched in awe. Wow, what a beautiful sugar lantern. Is this sugar lantern edible too? I raised my chin and pointed at the shadow lantern beef in front of young Master Huang. That is the shadow lantern beef. What? This is edible, Xianxia exclaimed. I thought that was a decoration. Young Master Huang picked up a slice and bit down. With a crunch, he exclaimed, this texture is so wonderful. The more you chew, the more fragrant it gets. He invited Xiaofu and Guoguo to eat together. Xiaofu also praised it. These beef slices are so crispy. I could eat a dozen while watching a show. Zhao Yimai watched enviously. Young Master Huang and Xiaofu invited him to try. He bit off a slice, surprised and delighted. Wow, is it good? Xiaoyu asked curiously. Sister Xiaoyu, you have to try it. It's super incredibly delicious. Zhao Yimai handed a slice of beef to Xiaoyu's mouth. Xiaoyu took a bite and her eyes widened. So crispy, so fragrant. Boss, is this really beef? Why is it so crispy? Thin enough to be fried, dry enough, and dry enough to be crispy, I explained casually, drawing out the cloud iron knife, preparing to slice the meat. That must be how thin. I didn't answer. With a flash of the blade, I sliced off a paper-thin piece of fresh beef and handed it to him. This thin Xiaoyu's eyes widened and her mouth dropped. Zhao Yimai, meanwhile, stared at my knife. What a beautiful knife. Where did you buy your knife? I bought it, passed down by the family, young Master Huang asked. Boss, your knife wouldn't happen to be a set with the bowl, would it? I thought for a moment and nodded. More or less. Tusk. You're really rich, young Master Huang exclaimed. Xiaoyu was surprised. Young Master Huang laughed and explained. Don't underestimate him. The bowls he uses for his stall. Each one is more expensive than my car. Yesterday, experts from the Palace Museum even tried to persuade him to donate them. These are bowls used by Emperor Qianlong. His ancestors were probably imperial jade chefs. I smiled and didn't respond. Just then, a government-plated passat stopped at the alley entrance. Kai walked over with two white-haired elders, who were Zheng Wanhua and Guanzu. Kai saw me and quickly walked over. Young man Zheng Wanhua, however, rushed to the table first, holding young Master Huang's unfinished noodles, his beard trembling with excitement. What a desecration of a heavenly treasure. Truly a desecration of a heavenly treasure. Young Master Huang exclaimed his name in surprise. Onlookers and the audience in the live stream also recognized this cultural relics expert, and the live stream once again boiled over. That's right. This is the longevity without bounds bowl. Zheng Wanhua stared at the bowl's belly. Heartbroken. To actually use a longevity without bounds bowl to serve noodles, Kai asked. Old Zheng, are you sure? Is it really a longevity without bounds bowl? How could there be any question? Zheng Wanhua snorted. He has an entire set, probably the one the Imperial Household Department was supposed to destroy back. Then young Master Huang awkwardly asked, Professor Zheng, can I finish my noodles? Zheng Wanhua carefully returned the bowl to him, admonishing, be careful, don't scratch it. This is a national treasure. He walked up to me and solemnly said, young man, this set of bowls is yours. They represent the pinnacle of imperial craftsmanship. Only by entrusting them to the state for safekeeping can they be preserved longer. Please hand them over to us. I, busy with my work, laughed and said, Professor Zheng, I believe bowls are tools. No matter how exquisite, they should be used. Even Qianlong didn't regard them as too precious. To me, it's just a tool for making a living. I won't sell it, regardless of price. Please go back. Yang Sheu and Zhao Yimai watched dumbfounded. The live stream was abuzz with discussion. I finished the noodles and placed them in front of them. Here are your noodles. Yang Sheu shrank his neck. I don't dare. This is a national treasure. What if I break it? I can't afford to compensate, it's fine. Relax. It's just a bowl. Noodles should be eaten hot. Yang Sheu carefully picked up the bowl, marveling. Even the chopsticks are gold inlaid. Jade the two ate, one bite after another, exclaiming repeatedly, these noodles are so chewy. The beef tastes so fragrant, and the soup is even better after they finish the noodles. I brought over a Cayenne egg. This is also part of the set meal. Only one egg, Yang Sheu joked. The boss is really stingy, Guo interjected. This is the best egg in the world. This is a Cayenne egg. It has a universe inside, young Master Huang teased. I then brought another egg and handed it to Zhao Yimai. Here's one for you. Zhao Yimai quickly thanked me. Her cheeks slightly flushed. Boss, why is this egg called Cayenne egg? You'll know once you eat it, Sheifu reminded. It's best to eat it in one bite. Yang Sheu took a bite, and her eyes widened, too excited to speak. Only after swallowing did she exclaim, oh my God, what is this? It's too delicious. There's crab roe inside. How is this made? Zhao Yimai bit into her own, also looking shocked. On the other side, Kai Yi, Zheng Wanhua, and Guanzu were socializing and discussing. Guanzu spoke. This young man's ancestors must have been imperial chefs. His knife box is made of Huanghuali wood. This set of imperial kitchen knives is even more precious than the bowls, and rare in the country. We must take them back for proper safekeeping. But he won't sell them, regardless of price. Zheng Wan Hua sighed helplessly. It's just a matter of money. If the budget isn't enough, I'll figure something out, Guanzu said. Yang Sheu and Zhao Yimai decided to present this bowl of noodles as their mission's achievement and asked to pack it. I refused. Sorry, my noodles cannot be packed for takeout. Freshly made. I paused, then nodded. You can, but you have to pay first. Yang Sheu jumped up happily. Great. Let's hurry and go. The mission time is almost up. Zhao Yimai helped me pack up the snack cart. The two pushed the cart towards the alley entrance, with fans following on both sides. Kai Yi and the other two, seeing this, hurried forward. Young man, are you closing your stall? Let's talk about your bowls and knives first. Grandpa, can we talk later? We're going to be late. Sorry. Yang Sheu clasped her hands together in entreaty, pulling me away quickly. Guanzu was the first to follow. Today, we absolutely cannot return empty-handed. Kai Yi and Zheng Wanhua followed closely behind. Young Master Huang was holding Guo's hand. He suddenly slapped his forehead. Oh no, I forgot to ask him what soup he mentioned last time. The one for knowing aversion and concrete evidence. Yang Sheu led me, and Zhao Yimai back to the Challenge the Limits filming location. The other guests were already in place. The filming site was an open space in front of Wancheng Plaza. The staff and guests were all surprised to see us push the snack cart in. Guo Heifei chuckled and teased. Hey, are you guys moving the whole store here? Brother Zun looked at the snack cart sign. Chef God's stall. This is amazing. Yang Sheu and his team even invited the chef god Zhang Jun, who was in his group, joked, aren't you afraid we have 100-year heritage? The beef noodles this boss makes are truly incredibly delicious, but they can't be taken out because it affects the taste. So we just directly invited the boss here. Beef noodles, so you said that day you pretended to be arrogant, pointing at the covered plate in front of her. Guess what I have here? No guessing. Yang Sheu raised his head and proudly snorted. No matter what you brought back, it can't be better than our beef noodles. Her appearance drew a round of playful teasing and complaints from the guests, filling the scene with joy. Amidst the laughter, Wang Weihao handed a few sheets of paper to Zhao Yimai. Wipe your arms. Zhao Yimai had been pushing the cart strenuously, and fine sweat had broken out on her feet. She paused, then thanked him. As a result, fans outside the venue instantly screamed. Zhao Yimai was a bit embarrassed. Yang Sheu, seeing this, deliberately fanned himself. Oh, It's so hot. I'm exhausted. Saying this, he took the paper from Zhao Yimai's hand to wipe his sweat. Zhao Yimai also took the opportunity to wipe his forehead. Quietly whispering thank you, he knew Yang Sheiyu was helping him out. Yang Sheiyu secretly winked at him and pulled him away to check on the other guests. Meanwhile, busied myself preparing the noodles. I had turned off the stove on the way here. Now I brought out the stock pot again to heat and stir it to prevent scorching the bottom. As the flames licked, the fresh aroma of the stock wafted out. The guests, who were conversing, all stopped in their tracks. What's that smell? So fragrant everyone followed the scent and gathered around. Beef broth, to be used for the beef noodles later, Yang Sheiyu explained gleefully. Huang Daming leaned towards the stock pot and took a deep breath. Hu Jai's shoulders twitched violently. For his public image, he had eaten plain boiled vegetables for years. This aroma instantly activated his hunger. Huang Weihao and Yan Fengxian couldn't help but swallow their saliva. Both their stomachs rumbled simultaneously, drawing laughter from everyone. The children are hungry, Brother Zun teased with a chuckle. You guys can try more later. These noodles are really exceptionally delicious, Yang Sheiyu recommended confidently. Huang Daming licked his lips. It does smell very fragrant. Handsome, please make a portion. Both my younger brothers are almost starving, Yang Sheiyu joked with a smile. No need for him to say. I'm already starting just then. Zhang Jun suddenly saw the small blackboard with the price and was shocked. 20,000 yuan a serving. This must be fake. All the guests looked over, their faces full of surprise. Dayu pointed at the character 10,000. 200 yuan is more like it. It looks like there's a missing stroke inside. No, it's not wrong. It's 20,000 yuan, a serving, Yang Sheiyu corrected. You're kidding, right? Guo Heifei didn't believe it. How can there be a 20,000 yuan bowl of noodles? You're faking it. Acting so real, Brother Jun teased with a laugh. I'm not faking it. It's real, Yang Sheiyu argued helplessly. Huang Daming turned to Zhao Yimai. Zayomai, you're a good child. Tell us, what's the actual price of these noodles? Zhao Yimai glanced helplessly at Yang Sheiyu and explained seriously. This bowl of noodles really is 20,000 yuan a serving, but that's the price for the set meal, which also includes a portion of shadow lantern beef and a cayenne egg. Meat and egg combo, Dayu exclaimed. Even a set meal wouldn't sell for 20,000 yuan. Would it? Are you guys messing with us? We're not messing with you. It's real, Yang Sheiyu said. Before we ate it, we also thought it was too expensive. But after eating it, we felt it was quite worth it. 20,000 yuan a serving is still worth it. Guo Heifei found it unbelievable. Do you know how much you can do with 20,000 yuan? You could buy a car, I know, but this bowl of noodles is different. Yang Sheiyu pointed at the bowl on the cart. This bowl is a national treasure-level cultural relic used by Emperor Qianlong, worth tens of millions. All the guests were stunned. Yang Sheiyu quickly pointed to the jelly belt outside. Those three there are experts and professors from the Palace Museum. The production team and directors group immediately sent people to interview Kai Yi and the other two. They confirmed that set of bowls can indeed be called a national treasure. And the longevity without bounds bowls used by Emperor Qianlong are of the same craftsmanship, very likely from the same batch. They ended up in folk hands by a twist of fate. The director immediately invited the three to participate in the recording. Zheng Wanhua thought for a moment and agreed. It's our honor to popularize traditional culture. Privately, we're busy with serious matters. Why did you agree to record the show? Zheng Wanhua laughed. Privately, he wouldn't budge. But in front of the entire nation's audience, would he still have the nerve to refuse? This is called leveraging the situation. But we also can't exploit him. He wants financial compensation. We'll try our best to satisfy him. I hadn't expected them to chase me to the site, but I didn't pay it much mind, still focusing on making noodles. Zheng Wanhua, after getting a microphone, tried to come find me, but was stopped by Jia Haoliang. Professor Zheng, hello? We meet again. Do you remember me? We were together that year, when we filmed National Treasure Season 3. Zheng Wanhua paused, then nodded hesitantly. Oh, hello. Long time no see. It really is. Long time no see, Jia Haoliang enthusiastically said. Last time we filmed, I was so impressed. All those young talents on the big screen. I still remember. It was truly beautiful. Zheng Wanhua was so entangled he couldn't get away, so he could only respond casually. The director's team quickly sorted out the process and specifically set up a separate segment for me. The camera crew focused entirely on me. I continued to make the shadow lantern beef and beef noodles according to the steps, with smooth movements that drew continuous exclamations from the guest. Dayu filmed with her phone. I have to send this to my master to see. He always says that among worldly wonders, This boss's craftsmanship is no worse than Tang Renjiang's brother Zun interjected. The blowing sugar craft seems to have a founding ancestor. Who is it? Dayu thought for a moment but couldn't recall. I'll ask my master later. While assembling the sugar lamp frame, casually said, there's a legend that it's Liu Bowen. Back then, when Zhu Yuanzhang burned the pavilion of meritorious officials, Liu Bowen was rescued by an old sugar-selling man and lived under an assumed name. And that's how the blowing sugar craft was passed down. That's right. That's what my master told me. Dayu quickly nodded. Hey, did you learn the sugar sculpting craft through family tradition? Should be, I guess I said with a smile, shaking my head. But I haven't mastered it. This amateur skill can't be considered. Huang Weihao praised, but Guo Heifei directly picked off a piece. It's made to be eaten. It'd be a waste not to eat it. Oh no, Huang Weihao, and Yan Fengxiang exclaimed regretfully. It's fine. It's meant to be eaten anyway, Xianxia called out. You all try it. The texture is just like potato chips. Guo Heifei, half believing, half doubting, took a bite. With a crunch he exclaimed in surprise. It really is like potato chips. Huang Daming also couldn't resist picking off a piece. After biting it, he instantly froze. How is it? I didn't lie to you. Did I? Xianxia proudly raised his head. So amazing. Beef jerky can actually have this kind of texture. Guo Heifei exclaimed. The beef noodles taste even better. The most amazing thing is the Xianxia egg. You'll know once you eat it. Xianxia was about to say more, but Zhao Yimai stopped him. He knew the surprise of the Xianxia egg lay in the impact of not knowing its history. I opened the knife box and sliced the noodles. My fluid knife skills drew everyone's admiration. Guanzu, however, stared intently at the hoe-shaped knife in the knife box, her eyes shining. She recognized it as the golden fan jade hoe knife recorded in books. It was forged from cloud iron, rarely seen domestically since the assassination of Emperor Jiaqing. After the noodles were cooked, everyone politely deferred, finally letting Brother Zun eat first. Brother Zun picked up a few noodles, put them into his mouth, and exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, these must be noodles made purely from meat. They are so chewy. Aren't they good?" Xianxia was beaming with pride. Huang Daming also picked up a mouthful, closed his eyes, and looked utterly delighted. Afterward, all the guests scrambled to eat, quickly conquered by this bowl of noodles. Dayu buried her head, drinking the soup. Xianxia laughed. My Yuji knows how to eat. The essence is all in the soup. Everyone rushed forward to grab the soup, pushing Dayu aside. The soup was quickly gobbled up. Dayu smacked her lips. This soup is really salty. Xianxia picked up a Xianxia egg from the table and offered it to Dayu to try. But no matter how salty the soup is, it's not as fresh as this Xianxia egg. Dayu was dismissive. How good can one egg be? Only the person who eats it will know who wants to eat it. Only one left, Xianxia asked, holding the egg. Everyone else showed no interest. Dayu raised her hand. I'll eat it. I like eggs all right then. Congratulations on getting a Xianxia egg. Xianxia handed it over. You have to eat it in one bite. Dayu smiled, put the egg into her mouth, took a bite, and her head snapped back. Then she raised her hand to cover her chin, looking utterly bewildered. Said Ahoha, look, that's exactly the expression you just made. Xianxia, embracing Zhao Yimai, laughed loudly. What's wrong? Did you burn yourself? Brother Zun asked with a smile. Dayu squinted, savoring it carefully, then shook her head and waved her hand, signaling. Only after swallowing did she take a deep breath. My goodness. Is it that good? Brother Zun teased. This isn't an egg, Dayu said urgently. Do you know what I tasted? Crab roe. Really? You can taste crab roe in an egg. Brother Zun was stunned. Really? If you don't believe me, smell it. Dayu opened her mouth. Go on. Brother Zun waved his hand. Really? Dayu grew anxious. Brother Zun stepped forward and sniffed. Surprised. It really is the taste of crab roe. It's crab roe, Xianxia. And Zhao Yimai said with a smile. We just ate it. Brother Zai, isn't it good? Delicious? Truly delicious. Dayu nodded repeatedly. This is the first time in my life I've tasted crab roe from an egg. How was it put inside? Huh? Hee. Don't you know? Let our handsome boss reveal the secret to you. Xianxia directed the camera towards me. I briefly explained the method for making the Xianxia egg. Everyone grew even more amazed. After the tasting session, the director guided everyone to talk about the longevity without bounds bowls. If a set meal like this sells for 20,000 yuan, it's really not expensive, Guo Heifei said, still wanting more. Deliciousness is certainly paramount. But the service is also worth the price. Xianxia picked up an empty bowl and faced the camera. This bowl is called the Longevity Without Bounds bowl. Each one is worth over 20 million yuan. Really, Guo Heifei didn't believe it. This is what the Palace Museum experts said. If you don't believe it, ask them. Xianxia directed the camera towards Kai and the other three. Introducing their Jia Heiliang, guest host, asked the three experts, "Are you three sure this set of bowls is really a priceless antique?" "Yes, we are 90% certain," Zheng Wanhua said seriously. "We judged it based on several aspects, such as its kai, form, color, and inscriptions." He picked up a bowl and explained his judgment to the camera. Everyone listened, impressed by the profound knowledge they didn't fully grasp. "After our appraisal, this set of bowls is the Boundless Longevity Bowl crafted by the Imperial Manufactory for Emperor Qianlong. By some twist of fate, a selected set circulated among the common folk and ended up in Mr. Lai's hands." Everyone applauded. Zheng Wanhua turned to me and said seriously, "Young man, we're not forcing you. We just want to protect cultural relics. You can use this set of bowls however you like, but it's such a waste to use them as ordinary rice bowls. Ordinary bowls can also hold rice, but using such precious bowls is truly a squandering of heavenly treasures." "I understand," I said with a smile, "but I believe that to protect traditional culture, it should be returned to the public to revitalize its life, no matter how precious this set of bowls is. To me, it's tableware. It should be used to hold food. To keep it in a high-class collection would be a waste. Now that's what you call vision. Bowls worth tens of millions, and he just uses them." Dayu clicked her tongue. "He's not wrong, but those are bowls worth tens of millions." Kai Yi and Guanzu exchanged helpless glances. Zheng Wanhua spoke again. "Young man, you're right. Cultural relics should be appreciated by the public. Our institute has special funds for cultural relic protection. We won't let you hand them over for nothing. We'll give you ample compensation." Everyone's eyes focused on me. I smiled and said, "Since the experts put it that way, let me do some calculations. My dishes must be paired with this set of bowls for sale. Today's turnover is 100,000. If the usage fee for the bowls is 10%, that's 10,000. I'm 20 years old this year, and assuming an average lifespan of 80, I have 60 more years. Theoretically, I could earn 219 million. Let's round it to 200 million. If your esteemed institute can provide enough compensation, I'll hand the bowls over to you for safekeeping." Zheng Wanhua's smile instantly froze. The scene erupted in an uproar. 200 million. Zheng Wanhua was so annoyed he complained, "In your hands." Can everyone really use them? How many people can afford 20,000 yuan beef noodles? I nodded with a smile. Exactly. Cost is a barrier, so we need to break it. I picked up a bowl and, facing the camera, said seriously, "I've decided to use this set of bowls as a blueprint to replicate its craftsmanship and produce low-cost, boundless longevity bowls, driving the price down, so everyone has a chance to own one Kai." And the other two were stunned. Zheng Wanhua flatly declared, "No, absolutely not. How can you replicate the crafting process of Cloison? It's already lost." "You'll ruin this set of bowls." "Lost," I murmured slightly. "It's only been a little over a month since I was reborn, and I don't know much about this world, but searching my memories, I did recall a news story. A precious cultural relic, due to lost craftsmanship, was damaged and couldn't be repaired, only destroyed. Such incidents are common." Only then did I understand Zheng Wanhua and his colleagues' painstaking efforts to persuade me to hand over the bowls. They believed that one less precious relic meant one less in the world. Looking at the bowl in my hand, I suddenly remembered the mysterious dream space. A thought flashed, and I gathered my wits, calmly retorting, "How can you be so sure I can't replicate it? When I was learning cooking in the dream space, I once passed by the Imperial Manufactory and saw the Cloison artisans at work. My mind was entirely focused on cooking at the time, so I didn't pay much attention. Thinking about it now, I missed a good learning opportunity. I even vaguely thought of a way to exploit a bug. 1 year in the dream space is only 1 hour in reality. I have plenty of time to research. This is no child's play. The Cloison craftsmanship is extremely complex. You can't just replicate it because you want to." Zheng Wanhua, fearing I would act recklessly, earnestly advised, "We have organized many attempts. Expert teams tried to replicate it, but couldn't even get close. This knowledge is passed down through generations, mostly within families, not outside. From male to male, not male to female. There are no written records. The tricks are all taught verbally and by example. If one generation fails, it's lost. So many artisans died in the war back then that it's impossible to replicate it based on a few scattered words in books. Did you just see some superficial information online or in a book and think you can replicate it to make money? Listen to my advice. You're overthinking it. What's written in books is simple. Actual operation is completely different. Don't be impulsive. Once this bowl is destroyed, it will be gone forever. After he finished speaking, I felt even more at ease. The artisans in the imperial manufactory in the dream space never avoided me. As long as I observed and pondered, I could always figure out the method. If not, I'd just stay a few more years. I looked at Zheng Wanhua and asked with a smile, "What if I do replicate it?" "That's impossible," Zheng Wanhua retorted. Agitated. "Will only ruin this treasure, teacher," Zheng, I said unhurriedly. "I understand your feelings. One less precious cultural relic means one less in the world. But if we don't research it, don't understand it, how can we deduce its craftsmanship?" "We've tried," Kai Yi suddenly interjected. "In 85 and 97, we organized experts to try, but we wasted over a dozen cloisonne pieces and still couldn't replicate its craftsmanship." My expression remained calm. "You are you, and I am me. What's different about you?" Zheng Wanhua grumbled. "I'm a genius." I slightly lifted my chin. Zheng Wanhua, Kai Yi, and everyone else present instantly fell silent. The live streams, bullet comments exploded with teasing and admiration. "Young man, don't act on impulse." I curved my lips into a smile. My expression calm. "Just because you can't do something doesn't mean I can't. Otherwise, with so many chefs in the world, why am I the only one who replicated the Supreme Emperor's fried rice and the world's best beef noodles? Isn't your cooking family heirloom?" Kai Yi was somewhat surprised. I casually explained, "My bowl and knife are ancestral, but my cooking isn't." Kai Yi's face was full of disbelief. My exquisite cooking skills look like they were taught by a master, yet he claims to have figured them out and replicated them himself. But this is on the show, in front of a national audience. I have no need to lie. Guanzu stepped forward, shook her head at Zheng Wanhua, and whispered, "Let's discuss this later. I'll go back and talk to old Guan about raising enough money. Then we'll talk again." Zheng Wanhua was silent for a moment, then sighed. "Gubo is a state-owned entity. We have to be reasonable. He's named his price, and we don't have that much money." They had no other option. Ming and Qing dynasty cultural relics could be privately collected and traded, so they could only find ways to raise money. All cameras on site were aimed at me. No one expected a roadside snack vendor to possess such a treasure, a bowl for serving rice, yet worth 200 million. I became the only protagonist on the scene. Other artists stood around, their faces full of envy. After this segment of filming ended, the artists quickly left the snack cart. That set of bowls was priceless. They couldn't afford to break them. Zheng Wanhua and the other two couldn't reach an agreement and had to return empty-handed. Before leaving, they repeatedly urged, "Don't rush the replication. We'll go back and raise money. Please don't mess around. If this is ruined, it can't be restored." I neither agreed nor refused, leaving it ambiguous. Zheng Wanhua, helpless, could only depart dejectedly. I packed my things, ready to leave, when a short-haired middle-aged woman stopped me and handed me a business card. "Mr. Lai, my name is Wang Tian, and I'm a channel producer for Pineapple TV. Are you interested in recording a food variety show?" "A food variety show?" I took the business card and glanced at it. "Yes, Chinese restaurant, you know it. Right. It's that show where several celebrities run a restaurant together," Wang Tian explained with a smile. "Oh, the one Huang Daming recorded." "Right, I remembered." "Correct. He was the main guest in all seasons, except the second," Wang Tian said. "We're currently preparing to film the 7th season. I came this time to discuss renewing Huang Daming's contract. We also need a highly skilled head chef, and haven't found a suitable one yet. The theme for this season is lost old flavors. We've looked for many master chefs, but none were suitable. I saw your skill in making shadow lantern, beef and pure beef noodles. And then I checked the video of you making Emperor's fried rice yesterday online. I think you're a great fit for the theme. I'd like to ask if you're interested in participating in the recording." I felt a stir. I had top-notch skills, but customers were a problem. Yesterday, most of my customers were regulars. Chinese restaurant has decent ratings, and appearing on the show could promote my stall, which would definitely benefit my business. I pondered for a moment and asked, "Where will it be filmed this season?" "We'll open the restaurant in the capital," Wang Tian said. Taking out a proposal, she handed it to me. "The recording time is about 3 months. Can you check if the timing works for you?" "Time is not an issue." "What about the terms and conditions?" I asked casually, flipping through the proposal. "Guest appearance fees are calculated per episode. with different prices based on popularity. Wang Tian explained. The show airs during prime time, which can significantly boost your popularity and exposure, benefiting your stall as well. Since you're a newcomer with low public recognition, I can guarantee an episode fee of no less than 100,000. A season has 15 to 20 episodes, so the total remuneration would be 1.5 million to 2 million. Do you think you can accept that? I calculated 3 months of running my stall, with a daily turnover of 100,000, would bring in 9 million. I immediately shook my head. That's too little. At least double it. Otherwise, it's not worth my while to record this show. Wang Tian didn't argue. She had also heard my calculations with Zheng Wanhua and immediately said, the terms can be negotiated for. As long as you're interested. That's enough. I nodded with satisfaction and, closing the proposal, stated my conditions. But first, I have 3 conditions. First, I want a live stream during the recording. Second, all the ingredients I use will be top grade, so you need to be mentally prepared for the cost. Third, I need to ensure sufficient rest time. Wang Tian replied one by one. Live streaming is no problem. We also plan to integrate live streaming this season. As for ingredients, rest assured, we'll strictly control quality. Just tell us your needs in advance. As long as it's not illegal or unethical, we can meet them. Rest time is also guaranteed. An episode is recorded over several days, so we'll definitely let you rest well. Okay, then only the terms remain, I said with a smile. 100,000 per episode is definitely not enough. Give me a new offer. If it's suitable, I'll join. All right. I'll go back and apply. I hope we can cooperate smoothly. Wang Tian took out her phone. I'll add you on WeChat. I'll notify you as soon as I have news. I returned to my snack cart. The live stream's bullet comments were still lively. Someone recognized Wang Tian and sent a bullet comment asking if I was going to be on Pineapple TV. This wasn't confirmed yet, and I didn't want to publicize it, so I waved my hand at the camera. I'm going offline now. Thank you all for your support. Goodbye. With that, I closed the live stream and added Wang Tian's WeChat. I'll report to the station tomorrow, Wang Tian said confidently. I'll await your good news, I replied. After saying goodbye, I pushed my snack cart and left the set. Watching my departing back, Wang Tian sent a voice message. We found our head chef candidate. Both his skills and image are very good. Wang Daming's side is fine. Have you settled things with Fairy's sister on your end? Excellent. Back home, I thoroughly cleaned the snack cart as usual, then took my bowl and knife back to my room. I made a bucket of instant noodles and ate it clean, then chugged a bottle of cola. I thought, once I enter the dream space, I probably won't be able to eat these for years after eating and washing up. I quickly fell asleep. The familiar colorful mist space, the familiar tombstone. I returned to the dream space once again. The surroundings were no different from when I last left, except that the colorful mist behind the tombstone was thinner. Without overthinking, I twisted my ring, pricked my finger, and touched the tombstone. The next moment, I appeared in a large, steaming kitchen, and a cacophony of sounds instantly reached me. Add more firewood. The soy milk needs to boil, so the brine can dissolve. Faster, the more you fear the heat, the slower you'll be. Peeling bean curd skin requires speed. This stone slab tofu is going to the palace. Be careful on the way. If it breaks, I'll hold you accountable. I walked out of the kitchen and looked at my reflection in the water. I recognized myself as Wang Kui, the head chef specializing in tofu in the imperial kitchen. Known as the Tofu King at this moment, I was a 17 or 18-year-old apprentice. Combining the environment, I guessed I was in Wang Kui's tofu workshop in Huinan, the birthplace of tofu. Liuan, king of Huinan during the Western Han Dynasty, had accidentally invented tofu. I remembered Wang Kui once saying that his family ran a tofu workshop, and he, due to his love for researching tofu dishes, learned cooking. Later, his reputation reached the capital, and he was summoned to the palace to prepare a tofu banquet for Empress Xianxia, thus earning the title Tofu King. I instantly understood that this time I was to learn the art of making a tofu banquet. In a flash, 24 years passed. I returned to the mist-filled space, and it took a long time to regain my senses. New inscriptions appeared on the tombstone. Wang Kui, 19th day of the 3rd month of Kangxi 53rd year, the 4th day of the 4th month of Qianlong 56th year. From Xiaoxian, Anhui province, began cooking at 16, entered the palace by imperial decree in Qianlong 12th year, prepared tofu banquets for Empress Xianxia, bestowed the title Tofu King, and died peacefully in these 24 years. I started from basic techniques like grinding tofu and cutting bean curd skin, sleeping at midnight and rising at dawn every day. Enduring hardships, I not only learned all methods of making tofu, but also mastered the spoon for hundreds of tofu dishes. Only after successfully replicating the tofu banquet was I able to return. I looked at the metal panel behind me. The personal specialties column indeed had tofu banquet added. Now I know tofu like the back of my hand. I can create a whole banquet solely from tofu. I noticed the mist wall was even fainter. Reaching out, I could press my arm in up to the elbow. Clearly, the gold content of the tofu banquet memory was higher than the previous two. I returned to reality. Exhausted, at my feet was a basin-sized black speckled ceramic jar and a stone grinder. This was custom-made in the dream space. The tofu ground was as white as jade. Outside the window, it was still pitch black, but my phone showed that a day and a night had passed. There were over a dozen missed calls and dozens of messages. I didn't have time to look closely before falling into a deep sleep. I didn't know that the internet was currently buzzing with discussions about the latest episode of Challenge the Limits, and I was at the core of the topic. Challenge the Limits, although it had reached its 9th season, and its popularity wasn't what it used to be. After the latest episode aired, the topic of 20,000 yuan for a bowl of beef noodles immediately soared to the top of the trending topics. Viewers were fiercely debating my beef noodles. Some questioned the exorbitant price, while others acknowledged my culinary skills. The more intense the debate, the higher the popularity. The show's producers seized the opportunity to promote it. And I, in turn, became known to more people. Some were disdainful, some were curious. Early on the 3rd day, I was Mr. Lai, are you busy? Are you available to take a call? The station has replied regarding the show. After my application, they can offer 150,000 per episode. After filming, there's also a 200,000 bonus. What do you think? Are you perhaps not satisfied with the price? Were you expecting 200,000? The station has agreed to your asking price. 200,000 per episode. Can you call me back? Have other stations contacted you? How much are they offering? We'll offer 10% more than them. A flat rate of 300,000 per episode. If you're satisfied, call back. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for the next collaboration. I was dumbfounded. No other TV stations had contacted me. He had tripled the price himself. I immediately called back. Wang Tian's tone was urgent. Mr. Lai, you finally called back. Are you satisfied with the remuneration in the text message? Pretty satisfied, of course. I was satisfied. I earned an extra 4 million just by sleeping. This was the most profitable sleep I've ever had. That's good. Wang Tian sighed in relief. I'll come find you to sign the contract. Where are you in? Xianxia I arranged to meet at a nearby coffee shop. After washing up, I first found a law firm and hired a lawyer before daring to head to the coffee shop. Wang Tian was already waiting. As soon as she saw me, she took out the contract. Mr. Lai, please send me your ID number. I'll arrange for someone to book your tickets, no rush. Let me look at the contract first. I took the contract and started flipping through it. The show's start time has been moved up. It's starting next Monday. I need to book your tickets, get your takeaway insurance, and a bunch of other things. Wang Tian explained. I still read the contract carefully and had the lawyer review and modify several clauses before signing. After signing the contract, Wang Tian smiled and extended her hand. Mr. Lai, I have to go. I have a noon flight back to the station to handle formalities. HR will send you the flight information. See you next Monday in the capital. She walked a few steps, then turned back, leaning against a railing. The script. I almost forgot. This is the final script. Take a look with that. She hurried away. I paid the lawyer's fee, took the script, and went home. The Chinese restaurant script had lenient requirements for me as the head chef. I flipped through the main guest profiles and saw Huang Daming, Zhao Yinmai, and the manager and first priority main guest, Liu Tingfei. Liu Tingfei is a top young Dan performer in China, excelling in both dramatic and martial arts roles, with a pure appearance and ethereal temperament. She played Wang Yuyan and Little Dragon Girl right after her debut, earning praise from Jin Yang and being called Fairy, sister by fans. I don't follow celebrities, but having beautiful colleagues sounds nice too. With a few days left until filming began, I didn't sit idle. I went straight to the farmer's market. Since I'd learned the tofu banquet, I had to try my hand at it. Tofu made with different climates and water qualities in different regions has varying taste. For me, even a slight difference would lead to a huge disparity. but I searched the entire farmer's market and couldn't find suitable soybeans. I needed freshly harvested beans from that year. About 3 fen of fake first-grade beans, or at least 2.5 fen of first-grade beans. But the market only had about 1.5 fen beans, and all the labeled ones were imported GMO beans. GMO beans are large and plump, but lack a bean tooth germination capability, and cannot be used for seeds. Their taste isn't mellow either, which doesn't meet my requirements. If soybeans were out, I looked for tofu, but the tofu on the market all had a strong beanie smell, not even reaching the standard of an apprentice in my dream space. Finally, I bought a piece of spoiled tofu that the vendor was about to throw away. It wasn't for sale. Someone needed it. Unable to find satisfactory beans or tofu, I simply went to the poultry market, came out with a heavy black bag, and bought some more vegetables before heading home. At 7 p.m., I pushed my snack cart back to Luju Road cross street. The foot traffic was less than during the show's recording, but many more people recognized me. Mostly celebrity fans. They specifically came to see the place where the show was filmed and crowded around, asking, is boss Xianxia as handsome as in the photos? And pretty? Is Jinmai Mei well-behaved? Are you the boss who sells 20,000 yuan beef noodles at first? I replied a few times, but later I couldn't handle it anymore and stopped speaking. They became even more excited, discussing how I looked like Yang Yang and Zhao Zhan. I shook my head helplessly. I wiped the small blackboard clean and rewrote today's menu. Meat tofu pudding, 66.6 yuan a bowl. Seeing this, the girls scattered, laughing. I don't have 20,000 yuan, I can't afford it, don't look at me. I shook my head speechlessly and opened the live stream. Soon, over 1,000 viewers poured in, and the bullet comments were full of complaints. He's live. What were you doing yesterday? Meat tofu pudding is only 66.6 a bowl. So cheap. Wait, did I just say only? A bowl of tofu pudding for over 600. That's robbery. Didn't anyone notice the character meat? So what if it's meat? How much can adding a bit of meat increase the cost? I didn't pay attention. These people, through their screens, had no idea about the mystery of meat tofu pudding. Soon, the girls, drawn by the aroma, gathered around again, staring at the wooden soup barrel I had just opened. It smells so good. What is this? It seems like chicken soup, but it smells much better than chicken soup. This is the meat tofu pudding. I fanned the aroma with the lid of the soup barrel. The fragrance grew stronger. The girls who had just been complaining all fell silent, only gulping. This is tofu pudding, a girl asked in disbelief. I've eaten tofu pudding since I was little, but I've never smelled anything this fragrant. I already told you it's meat tofu pudding, so it's definitely different. Someone pushed to the front row, looking at the milky white, silky smooth tofu pudding in the soup barrel, their face full of curiosity. Boss, where's your boundless longevity bowl? Why aren't you using it? Someone questioned. Meat tofu pudding can't come into contact with metal utensils. The boundless longevity bowl is a gold bowl, so it's not suitable, I casually explained. But everyone laughed and teased. You're reluctant to use it because of the brine. Right, a voice came from outside the crowd. Everyone turned around to see a man with glasses and a beard, whose speech had a slight lisp, standing at the back with his hands behind his back. I've eaten traditional tofu pudding in Sichuan province, and they all use ceramic bowls. The ladles and pots can't be metal, because the brine in the tofu pudding, the salt brine, will corrode metal, affecting the texture and taste. I nodded with a smile. Exactly. The main ingredient of meat tofu pudding is the tenderest chicken breast, chicken tooth meat, which is minced into a paste. For aesthetic appeal, I added a certain proportion of brine. Brine is corrosive, and contact with metal will affect the taste, especially with iron, where the corrosion is most obvious. Serving it in an iron bowl would give it a metallic taste. Teacher Gao, someone recognized him. Are you the food blogger Gao Wenlin, who visits restaurants? Gao Wenlin smiled and nodded. Hello, I am Gao Wenlin. Teacher Gao, why are you in Yangcheng? I'm a subscriber to your read and mirror column. He asked me, boss, can you make Emperor's fried rice today? No, I can't. I couldn't find ingredients that good anymore. I shook my head. What a pity, Gao Wenlin said with a regretful expression. Then asked, so you won't sell it anymore? I will sell it. I'll sell it when I gather enough ingredients. If I can't, then there's no way. Unless customers bring their own ingredients. Customers can bring their own ingredients. Gao Wenlin's eyes lit up. If I bring ingredients, can you make it for me? The processing fee will be whatever it should be. I glanced at him and nodded. Yes, but the processing fee isn't cheap as long as you can make it. That's fine, Gao Wenlin smiled. I just want to taste it, to see if what old Tang boasted about is true. You'll know when you taste it, I said, as I scooped half a bowl of tofu pudding with a wooden ladle. Then, opened the other soup barrel. A richer, fresher aroma diffused. Wow, it smells so good. This smell is even better than the meat tofu pudding, superior broth Gao Wenlin said, nodding as he sniffed the aroma. The main ingredients should be old hen essence and ham. The auxiliary ingredients include abalone and morel mushrooms. Right, you must see cucumber and fish maw. Everything else is correct. I ladled out a spoonful of superior broth and poured it along the rim into the tofu pudding bowl. The broth was clear, yet its aroma was extremely rich. When everyone heard the names of the ingredients, no one complained about the price anymore. Using so many top-grade ingredients to make soup, 600 plus yuan a bowl, is already very conscientious. How do you always use so many good ingredients? Are you doing charity? Gao Wenlin exclaimed. It's all right. I still make a profit, I said casually. They didn't know that besides the old hen and morel mushrooms, which I bought, all the other ingredients were leftovers from making Emperor's fried rice. Although they were scraps, they were still tribute-grade good stuff. The couple who had received their tofu pudding couldn't wait. The girl scooped a spoonful and dripped it to the boy's lips. The boy sucked it in one gulp. His eyes instantly widened. How is it? The girl asked curiously. The boy swallowed with a gulp and nodded excitedly. Delicious. It's meat. This is tofu pudding made from meat. Tofu pudding made from meat. The surrounding crowd heard the boy's exclamation and were all stunned. Meat can make tofu pudding. The girl took a spoonful and put it into her mouth, immediately covering her mouth in amazement. The silky smooth tofu pudding melted in her mouth, and the fresh aroma of the superior broth exploded. She closed her mouth, breathing through her nostrils, and even her exhaled breath carried the fragrance. So fragrant. It really is tofu pudding made from meat. Everyone was utterly astonished. A chorus of discussions rose and fell. Meat can make tofu. It's understandable to use meat to make beef noodles. But how is tofu pudding made? Is it high-tech? I feel like it should be quite delicious. Gao Wenlin seemed to have thought of something, stepped forward to glance at the soup pot, and then said to me, Boss, I'll have a serving too. He scanned the code and paid. I scooped a bowl and handed it to him. He used a spoon to gently separate the jade-white tofu, putting in the bowl, and sniffed it carefully. Only after a careful inspection did he put it in his mouth, closing his eyes to savor it. After a while, he confirmed, it really is chicken tofu. Putting a fan nearby was puzzled. Isn't chicken tofu putting a meat tofu? Putting Gao Wenlin turned his head and asked me, Boss, is this the chicken tofu pudding from the top 10 classic Sichuan dishes? I didn't deny it, explaining, meat tofu pudding is the general term for this dish, meaning tofu pudding made with meat. As for the meat tofu pudding I made today, it is indeed made with chicken, so calling it chicken tofu pudding is fine. But other meats can also be used, so I just call it meat tofu pudding. I see. Thank you. Thank you. Gao Wenlin clasped his hands in thanks, constantly praising, it's truly fortunate to be able to eat such a famous dish. I'm incredibly lucky. A girl curiously pressed. Teacher Gao, I am from Sichuan province. How come I don't know that meat tofu pudding is among Sichuan's classic dishes? Gao Wenlin explained. It used to exist, but it was lost decades ago. If you go back and check a book called Chengdu Tonglan General Survey of Chengdu, inside it's recorded that chicken tofu pudding was a signature dish of Sichuan chefs in the Dazhu region of Sichuan province over 100 years ago. It's very delicate and particular. You eat chicken but don't see chicken. Eat meat but don't see meat. Transforming meat into a vegetarian-like form, the girl nodded, seemingly understanding but not quite. Gao Wenlin then politely asked me, Boss, may I film this? I nodded. He then had the cameraman behind him take close-up shots of the soup pot. He himself explained to the camera, chicken tofu pudding is made by pounding the tenderloin from chicken, breast into a fine meat paste with the back of a knife. Then, slow-cooked in broth at a low temperature. This tenderloin is the fillet connecting the chicken breast to the wings, commonly known as chicken teeth. One chicken yields only about 2 liang, about 100 g of it. Specifically for making this paste, he turned to ask me, Boss, approximately how much chicken tenderloin did you use for this pot of meat tofu pudding? Over 200 chickens. I guess, I replied casually. I bought all the chicken and duck meat available at the market tusk. So particular Gao Wenlin gave a thumbs up. He took another bite and curiously asked me, I've tried to recreate this dish several times, but failed every time. Just the meat paste step is impossible for me. How do you chop the meat paste so finely? Slowly chop it with the back of a knife, while pounding. Also, remove the sinews and membranes. Just chop it until it's fine enough, I explained while rinsing a wooden spoon. How fine? I pondered for a moment. About as fine as sesame paste or peanut butter. Gao Wenlin was stunned. The audience in the live stream also complained. Sesame paste? Streamer, are you not listening to yourself? That's meat. If you chop it as evenly as sesame paste, you might as well grind it with an ink stone. Is this something a human can accomplish after a while? Gao Wenlin asked admiringly. How long does it take you to chop one serving of meat paste? I patted the soup pot. This whole pot took me 3 hours to chop, Gao Wenlin gasped. 3 hours? When I tried to recreate it, one serving only took me half an hour. Hour? No wonder I failed. The people around also clicked their tongues. Someone questioned, is it worth spending so much effort to make a bowl of meat tofu pudding? Is there any meaning to it? No wonder it got lost, Gao Wenlin immediately retorted. Food should be prepared meticulously. This is the essence of Chinese culinary culture. How can it be meaningless? The questioning middle-aged woman stubbornly said. Such troublesome dishes are outdated. Everyone is busy making money now. Who has 3 extra hours to spare? Besides, one bowl costs over 600, which could buy a month's worth of regular tofu, pudding, Gao Wenlin patiently explained. Every person has different dietary needs. Some eat merely to fill their stomachs, while others are willing to spend time appreciating the subtle flavors of food. This bowl of meat tofu pudding uses the most common chicken to create such a tender, smooth, and delicious form. It's turning decay into wonder. It's the essence of Chinese culinary culture. It confirms that food is the primary need of the people. Her words drew a round of applause. The middle-aged woman's face flushed, and she mumbled, then hurried away. The onlookers immediately crowded around the stall and scanned codes to place orders. Boss, I want one bowl. Give me a serving. The scene instantly became lively and bustling. Meat tofu pudding was troublesome to make, but sold quickly. In no time, the soup pot was almost empty. The few who bought and tasted it all raved. So tender, even more tender than real tofu pudding. So Xianxia's expression when eating beef noodles wasn't exaggerated at. If meat tofu pudding is this delicious, then emperor's fried rice and pure beef noodles must be incredibly fragrant. Gao Wenlin slowly finished the last mouthful of broth. He returned the bowl but didn't leave immediately. Instead, he opened my live stream and directly sent 10 super rockets. I noticed the gift effects and was about to thank him when I recognized his account avatar. Gao Wenlin smiled and cupped his fist. Boss, I admire your craftsmanship. There's nothing much I can do to express it, so I can only use this method as a small token of my respect. I smiled. Mr. Gao, just say whatever you want to say. We're all food lovers. No need to be formal. I could tell he had something to ask for. It was nothing more than about the craft. True artisans are never afraid of their skills being passed on, even if they make the method public. Not everyone can replicate it. Gao Wenlin thanked me and then seriously asked. When I tried to replicate it, I used a high-speed blender to process the tenderloin and even sieved it through a 60-mesh sieve. But the texture was still coarse, not like yours. Why is that? I teased. You're quite the slacker. There's no way. Chopping with a knife is too tiring. Gao Wenlin chuckled. Now it's modern society. It's understandable to use a bit of high-tech. You're wrong. I shook my head. High-tech can save trouble, but if you want to pursue perfection, machines can never replace human effort. When you use the high-speed blender to mince the meat. Did you add ice? Yes, Gao Wenlin nodded. I know that high-speed blenders rotate at high speeds and generate heat, causing protein denaturation. So ice must be added to cool it down. That's right, but ice can't completely block. Also, the ice will damage the meat's texture, making the meat less fresh. I continued to explain. Although you use a screw sieve for the meat paste to remove most of the sinews and membranes, the high-speed blender's rotation speed is too high, allowing tiny sinew particles to pass through the sieve holes and mix into the meat paste. When cooked, the sinews will shrink and the texture will be gritty. Pure hand chopping allows you to remove sinews and membranes as you chop, leaving only pure meat paste. This is the authentic way to make it. It turns out that's how it is. I've learned a lot. Gao Wenlin suddenly understood. He then asked, you said on the show that you came up with and recreated all the dishes yourself. Is this meat tofu pudding also one of them? That's right, I nodded frankly. Awesome. Gao Wenlin gave a thumbs up. I know how difficult it is to recreate something, and you can still make it so perfectly. I'm truly impressed. He then asked me. The chicken tofu pudding I recreated had a slightly bitter taste, but yours doesn't. It also has a rich, savory aroma. Why is that? I smiled and teased. That's your second question. Gao Wenlin slapped his forehead and immediately sent 20 more super rockets. Seeing this, I smiled and said, put a piece of pork skin on the chopping board. Before chopping, Gao Wenlin made 2 ah sounds in quick succession. Then, suddenly realized, of course, placing pork skin not only prevents the wooden taste from the chopping board, but also infuses a rich, savory aroma. That's brilliant. How did you think of that? I lowered my voice and joked. This is a secret. Don't spread it. Don't worry. I definitely won't spread it. Gao Wenlin nodded repeatedly. This question cost me 40,000. I wouldn't just tell others for free. Is it worth it? Worth it. Absolutely worth it, Gao. Wenlin slapped his palm. If you hadn't told me, I probably wouldn't have figured it out in a lifetime. This money was well spent, the live stream audience. However, didn't think so. The bullet comments flooded the screen. 40,000 for a piece of pork. Skin. Old Gao. You've been scammed, Gao Wenlin explained to the camera. For those who know, it's not hard. For those who don't, it's impossible. This pork skin is like a single leaf that blocks one's view. If the boss hadn't helped me remove it, I would never have seen the truth. This trick could be passed down as a family secret in ancient times. I spent 40,000 to learn it, which is actually a bargain after speaking. He cupped his fists at me again in thanks. You're too kind. It's just a small trick I didn't take it to heart. Just as I was speaking, young Master Huang and his family of 3 walked over. Fried rice, brother. You're finally open. Yesterday you weren't here. Gyugyuo barely ate anything all day. I looked at Gyugyuo and asked with a smile. You weren't eating properly again. Your food, Gyugyuo interjected. The food at home isn't tasty, young Master Huang asked helplessly. Is there any meat tofu pudding left? I pointed to the empty soup pot. It's gone, sold out so quickly. Young Master Huang was a little anxious. I came straight here as soon as I saw you started streaming. Xiaofu glared at him reproachfully, then turned to me and pleaded. Can you make another serving? Gyugyuo now doesn't eat anything else except your food, don't worry. The meat tofu pudding, I took out the wok. Do you remember the soup I mentioned last time that could cure Gyugyuo's anorexia? Yes. I remember. You found it? Young Master Huang asked. Surprised, I set down the wok and took out a plastic bag wrapped in several layers. The surrounding audience, seeing this, all gathered around, curious what I was going to do. But when I untied the plastic bag, everyone covered their noses and scattered. So stinky. What's that smell? Young Master Huang and Xiaofu were also choked by the smell and held their breath. Only Gyugyuo didn't react much. She even sniffed it actively and swallowed her saliva. Gao Wenlin recognized that there was a block of tofu in the bag and reminded me. Boss, this tofu has gone bad, I know. This is exactly the kind of smell I want, I said while rinsing the tofu. Young Master Huang covered his nose and asked, You're going to use this spoiled tofu to cook? That's right. I looked at Gyugyuo and smiled. This soup is called Emerald White Jade Soup. After you drink it, you'll find food delicious. I want to drink it. Gyugyuo happily raised her hand. No, Xiaofu quickly stopped her. This tofu has gone bad. How can you give it to a child to eat? I didn't answer directly. Instead, I asked Gyugyuo, Gyugyuo, do you think this smells good? Fragrant. More fragrant than fried rice. Xiaofu was stunned. She reached out and touched Gyugyuo's forehead. Are you sick? Is your sense of smell disordered? Gyugyuo looked a bit wronged. But it really smells good. Young Master Huang also squatted down and asked worriedly. If she felt unwell, I explained with a smile. Don't worry, I won't harm her. He finds it fragrant because her digestive system wants to eat. Her anorexia is because you usually feed her too cleanly. Young Master Huang and Xiaofu were both stunned. Xiaofu retorted, Is eating too cleanly also wrong? There are so many food safety issues now. Children have poor immunity. So shouldn't we eat cleanly? Are you saying we should eat dirty food? No. Eating a bit dirty is about cultivating enough normal gut flora. I poured clear water into the pot and lit the fire, then continued to explain. Food safety is important. After the water boiled, I cut the tofu into dice-sized pieces in my palm and dropped them into the pot. To prevent sticking, I continued. An adult carries 1 million bacteria, weighing about 200 grams, most of which are beneficial to the human body and form a symbiotic relationship with it. Enough gut flora can give a person strong immunity. Xiaofu was dumbfounded by what she heard. The live stream audience also commented, How does a snack stall owner know all this? Is this a cooking gods live stream or a professional lecture? Xiaofu hesitated and asked, How do you know so much? I smiled. I'm a proper food science graduate. I smiled again, and a good chef is half a doctor. The old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, still holds some truth. But this isn't scientific. And what does this have to do with spoiled tofu? Xiaofu frowned, smelling the sour odor with a look of discomfort. It's not spoiled. It's fermented, I explained. After tofu ferments, it produces enzymes with strong protease activity. Just like fermented, bean curd or stinky tofu. These enzymes can break down proteins into easily absorbable peptides and amino acids. Fats and starches are also broken down, making nutrients more easily absorbed, and the texture more delicate. Our family never eats stinky tofu, Xiaofu said with a frown. That's why I scooped out the over-fermented tofu, soaked and cleaned the pot. Gyugyuo has too few beneficial bacteria in her gut. Her digestion isn't good. Does she also have constipation? Xiaofu nodded in surprise. Yes, that's right. How did you know she's been constipated for 2 years? We've seen many doctors, but nothing worked. I glanced at him. Hers isn't too severe. Your constipation should be more severe. When you wake up in the morning, you also have bad breath. Xiaofu's face instantly flushed red, and she was speechless. I poured the remaining broth into the pot, brought it to a boil, and took out cabbage, spinach, and raw crispy rice. Drink a few more bowls of this soup, and you'll slowly get better. Young Master Huang asked curiously. Does this soup also use pearls? Aren't these pearls? I poured the raw crispy rice into the pot. These are white jade tofu, and these are emerald spinach. As I spoke, I cut the cabbage into fine shreds and threw them in. Cabbage is still the best. The Southern Materia Medica records that yellow sprout cabbage can invigorate the stomach and intestines, nourish the stomach, and harmonize the middle gyro. It's most suitable for regulating the digestive system. I shook the pot, turned off the heat, and said, "This is the pearl emerald, white jade soup." Young Master Huang looked at the soup in the pot, wanting to speak but hesitating. The bullet comments, however, exploded. Isn't this just dirty water? Spoiled tofu is better, right? Is there a difference from dishwater? Just then, Gao Wenlin spoke up. So this is the pearl emerald recorded in books. White jade soup. I've learned something new. This is the flavor of fermentation. If you can accept it, it's quite good. Young Master Huang asked in surprise. You know this soup? Of course. This is the soup that Zhu Yuanzhang, the founding emperor of the Ming dynasty, loved to drink the most. Gao Wenlin smiled and recounted the anecdote. Legend has it that when Zhu Yuanzhang started his rebellion, he caught a cold and fainted from hunger in front of a dilapidated temple. 2 beggars took leftover rice, crispy rice, mashed tofu, and rotten spinach they begged for, cooked them into a soup. After he drank it, he found it to be the most delicious thing in the world. He asked for the soup's name, and the beggar casually said it was pearl emerald white jade soup. Later, when he became emperor, despite eating all kinds of delicacies, he specifically sought out those 2 beggars to make this soup, and even used it to entertain his officials. This soup then became famous, but later it was lost. The live stream audience discussed it animatedly. Xiaofu felt a little relieved, but still worried. But this is spoiled tofu. Can a child's stomach handle it? I was about to speak, when Xiaofu suddenly started complaining. Traditional Chinese medicine TCM is all a scam. I took Gyugyuo to see many TCM doctors, and some quacks even prescribed her a prescription containing white lilac sparrow droppings. I looked it up and found out it was sparrow droppings. That's outrageous. I hesitated for a moment and explained. You might have misunderstood this. Using feces in medicine isn't exclusive to TCM. Western medicine also has fecal microbiota transplantation, FMT. FMT is transplanting the gut flora from a healthy person's feces into a patient's gastrointestinal tract to rebuild the gut flora and treat intestinal diseases. In 1958, American doctors successfully treated patients with severe diarrhea using fecal water. It's just that in recent years, just then, the roar of a sports car came from afar. Zhao Yunshan walked over with an internet celebrity beauty. Boss, we're here to patronize your business again. Yesterday, you sold 10,000 yuan worth of beef noodles on Challenge Extreme. Right? The internet celebrity beauty asked curiously. What are you selling today? Do you have Emperor's fried rice or beef noodles? No, today I'm selling meat tofu pudding. You're too late. It's already sold out. I pointed to the empty soup pot. Sold out again. The internet celebrity beauty was very disappointed. Zhao Yunshan also frowned. Can't you make it on the spot? No ingredients left. I lifted the lid of the soup pot for her to see. Zhao Yunshan sighed in disappointment. Suddenly, he smelled the soup in the pot and couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Asking curiously, what's this? Someone interjected. That's the pearl emerald white jade soup. Nice name. Zhao Yunshan took out his phone. Give me a bowl. The internet celebrity beauty's eyes widened in shock. You're going to drink this? Yes. And I'll get you a bowl too. No, I won't drink it. The internet celebrity beauty waved her hands repeatedly. Then just one bowl. How much is it? I shook my head. Sorry, this soup is not for sale. It's for someone else's custom order. Zhao Yunshan frowned. What, not for sale? Last time you also said it was a custom order for someone else. Do you have something against me? Last time this little girl came, I promised to make this soup for her. If you want to eat it, you can come tomorrow, and I'll save a portion for you, I explain. Ned. Zhao Yunshin was about to put away his phone, but was again attracted by the soup's aroma. He couldn't help but ask, I want to eat it now. Name your price. I'll pay extra. It's not about money. This soup is specially made for a specific person, so I can't sell it to you. I looked at Gyugyuo. Zhao Yunshin only then realized. This soup base is broth, truly fresh. The surrounding audience and the internet celebrity beauty were all stunned, watching her spoon after spoon, eating sweetly, their faces full of doubt. Gyugyuo also couldn't resist. Mommy, I want to eat too. She ran to the stall, picked up a small bowl, took a big gulp, and squinted her eyes. Smiling, it's really delicious. Xiaofu completely panicked and asked me, why does she find it fragrant? I really can't smell anything. This is the body's spontaneous reaction, I explained. Just like when you're hungry, you crave carbs. When you're thirsty, water tastes sweet. When you lack vitamin C, you crave sour fruits. Gyugyuo's gut flora is imbalanced, so her body will crave this kind of micro-fermented food. That's why she finds it fragrant, because it's most beneficial for gut flora growth. Xiaofu mumbled to herself. I can't believe after treating it for so long, the most effective solution turned out to be a bowl of spoiled tofu soup. Zhao Yunshin spat out a mouthful of tofu dregs. He looked at her with a bewildered expression, then looked at me. What did you say? This tofu soup is spoiled.